Well, hello and welcome to CirclemakersTV. Just probably doing something weird, as it usually does. I've got some squiggling coming out of one ear. And why has it only decided to do that now that I'm broadcasting? Great, yes. There we are. Something's gone wrong with my headphones now. It's unbelievable. There we are. Now they're working. Great. Hello, welcome to CirclemakersTV. It's amazing. It works fine, and then it's like the moment you press go, and it's just right. Is anybody seeing anything? Is anybody seeing and hearing us? Right. You have to actually say yes. We can see you. No, can't see anything. I don't believe this. Hang on.
Oh, Sonia can.
Sonia can see it. Sonia can see it. Can anybody else? Let's just make sure that everybody can see. Refresh. Yes, I can now, they say. Oh, you see? This is the thing. It gets me paranoid because everybody says they can't see. And actually, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong at all. It just needs you to actually refresh your screen. So I'm glad we broadcast okay and everybody else just needs to press F5. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, we've got an interesting show for you this week. Wouldn't be CirclemakersTV if we didn't. We've got a guest here, which is, the guest which has changed its mind. That's good, isn't it? The guest, he has changed his mind, yes, about crop circles over the years. Yes, it on the seat has changed its mind. So, yes, we'll go across to him at the moment. And by the way, if you're broadcasting, don't buy sherbet fruits from Lidl's because you end up talking like this. Yeah, and then hasta la vista. So yes, good. We're online. We seem to be coming out, and we have a guest on the seat. So let's go over to the guest and introduce him. If I can find out which button works, because I have changed everything round. That looks like. Let's press this one. See what happens. Hello, guest, Mr. Malcolm Treacher.
Hi, Matt. Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
Absolutely fine.
Good. And what would you like to talk about today then? It's your show, mate. Go.
Starting from scratch?
Yes. How old are you, sir?
About 24 years older than you, Matt.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Right.
We share a birth sign, I think.
Do we? Cancer?
Yeah.
We're in Cancer?
Yeah.
Oh, as long as we're in Cancer, not got cancer, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's fine. Oh, right. So we're in the same sort of area of. Yes, your birthday's next week. Mine's on the 13th. So all you witchcraft freaks out there, you know, it's like now's the time to start putting the pins in the doll. Okay, you know, it's like 13th is coming up. If anybody wants a sample of my hair, right, you know, I will actually send you some hair. I've got big locks of my hair. I'll send you some hair if you need to do some experiments and witchcraft on me, right? I mean, we'll give it a go, yeah? We'll do it as a controlled experiment. I'll send you some hair, some personal bits and pieces about me, and then you can see whether you can actually control me. That'll be good. So anyway, sorry about that. Hello. Hello to our guest. So you are a Cancerian, but you're not admitting age then, yes?
Okay.
You don't have to. Some guests do and some guests don't.
64.
Knocking on the door at 64.
Yeah.
Right, okay. He doesn't look bad for 64, does he? He's got more fucking hair than me, bastard. Right, okay. Now you know why there's this rivalry between us. It's really down to hair. You know, it's like it's not about anything else. It's really the hair that's done it. And we have a new Agent S. Agent S has transformed into she's got a little bit busted. That's what's caused it. Can you hear us now? Yes. Oh, I don't know. Something happened when we changed camera. Something happened to the audio. So there we go. Yeah. This is the wonderment of the software I'm using. You've got to be very careful what you do and specify every change that you make, because when you change camera, you also change the camera to the audio of that camera and the audio of that camera and no camera and stuff like that. So it's quite complicated setup here. And what I've done is I've overridden a lot of it so that it actually just stays on. And I forgot to press the override button, which I've now done. So hopefully you will get us all the way through the show now. Yes, our guest on the seat, Mr. Malcolm. You are a truth seeker, are you, sir?
I like to think so, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, yes. What's your background then? Where do you come from?
I wish I knew, actually. I've lived in the Puseyville for 30 years, but you can probably tell.
Yes, we can. Before you even start, yes, we can. Go on.
I moved down to Wiltshire from Tyneside in 1972.
Oh.
So I've been here 39 years, and 30 years of that lived between Devizes and Pusey. Excellent,
eh? And what sort of background are you from? Do you what sort of job do you do, and what sort of education and crap? I don't know. What's your mother's name? Any of that stuff?
I've got the Catholic Church to thank for letting me go to grammar school.
Oh right, so you're a Catholic grammar.
No,
guilt boy.
No, not me. But the bloke in front of me in the class when I was 11.
Yes,
he got to Catholic grammar school, and that left room for me at the normal grammar school.
Right.
I wasted my time there, really.
Okay.
Came out with nothing, but by then I was playing in a band and left school and walked into a job in a music shop in Newcastle.
Right, okay. And so you're sort of self-trained in anything, or are you trained in, are you qualified fitter of aircraft, I believe, or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Is like, come on, don't hold back on us.
After about 7 years in the music industry,
you're about ex-RAF, so we can't trust you because you were in the RAF once. Yes, so we can't trust you ever. But yes, you were in the RAF. Go on.
Yeah, I had 9 years in the RAF as an airframe technician. Yeah.
Yes, okay. At RAF Lynham?
Mainly on RAF Lynham, on the Hercules, yeah.
How do I know these things? Okay. Right, we're going to try and loosen this show up then tonight with a bit of humour. So basically, you've come down to this area, and your family lives here and everything, and you've started up a group in Pusey. In later years, I would say. I mean, but have you been interested in this stuff all your life? The group, by the way, is interested in conspiracies and things. But I mean, are you interested in? Have you been interested in this all your life? Sorry.
No, not at all.
No?
No. I would say that the bulk of the time in those 30 years, crop circles were on the very fringe of my interests. I was self-employed and
Right.
very much focused on earning a living, really.
Okay.
Scratching a living. It wasn't until I actually lost my business and we moved towards Pusey.
Yes.
When we actually moved into Pusey in 2006,
Yes.
I set up an awareness centre, which was basically a refuge for people who see things alternatively to mainstream.
Right.
And at that stage, I met quite a few, I suppose we better call them believers, including Mr. Buckley.
Right.
And his friends. And between sort of 2006 and the end of 2008, that's where I was, really.
Right, and for anybody who doesn't know, Buckley means Andrew Buckley, okay? Mr. Buckley. Yes, so just so everybody knows what we're talking about. Fantasist extraordinaire.
Yeah, quite.
Creates reality like we create crop circles. Yes, right.
Yeah, well, his own reality, yeah.
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 So, interesting character.
Mm.
So did you sort of get dropped into this with a bang? You know, what was the start for you with conspiracy theories then? What sort of made you kind of think that there was something going on that wasn't quite right?
Well, I think losing my printing business in 2000 probably triggered that.
Right.
But it took quite a while. I mean, I really started asking serious questions around about the autumn of 2002. So I've been studying stuff like this ever since then, which is, 9 years, I suppose.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I mean, what was the main thing that got you in then? You know, what sort of videos were you watching and television programs or books were you reading that got you involved in the first place? Can you trace your sort of history back?
I can actually trace the history back to when I was in the Air Force. When I was sort of in the last year of the Air Force, it's common for people to do a resettlement course, and I couldn't find anything that suited me. And I actually invented one, which was something along the lines of the global economy and its effect on the environment and its people. I got away with it for a few months, but eventually had to give up because there wasn't the access to information that we've got now. With the internet, we've got a huge source of information of all kinds, which needs to be cross-checked and verified because there's a lot of duff information. Of
course, yes, yes. You can't take everything you read on the net as real.
No, absolutely.
It's not the BBC, is it? The internet, unfortunately. You know, it's not the good old BBC. It hasn't got some bloke sort of going to check it out and tell you what's right. Then would you trust the BBC either? So okay, you come to this area. You've started your sort of interest in these conspiracy things, and you put on a night, didn't you, called Inquiring Minds?
Yeah.
And somebody's saying echo. Somebody keeps saying echo, echo. It's clipping, it's clipping. Hang on, then let's have a look. Let's have a little look. What the hell is going on? Let me just see if I can crash the computer by playing with this.
Too much reverb.
Too much? There is no reverb. We haven't got reverb on. We haven't got reverb.
You're saying it's a trippy sound.
It's a trippy sound. It sounds okay to me. Maybe we need to hear what they're hearing. Hang on a second. 2 seconds, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's listen to the stream. Well, that's bound to happen because it's looping back now. But no, it sounds pretty good to me. Room echo, is it? Sounds like I'm in a cave. It sounds like I'm in a cave. Okay. Well, I mean, normally I speak quite close to the mic like this, but you know. Yeah, we got the other mic for Debbie there. Yeah, it is. It's on. I mean, if I turn the radio mic down and it's just my mic and nothing else, then it should sound quite nice and rich. But the moment I put the radio mic up, which is like that, and this, then it's going to sound a bit echoey. But don't worry about that. Let's not worry about the technicalities. This is all bollocks that you, the viewer, don't need to be involved in. As long as we're getting audio, I'm sure it'll work out in the end. But if it's clipping badly, I will turn it down so we can limit the audio. That's always a good idea. It's better to be too quiet than too loud. But they're saying it sounds like we're in a dream.
Yeah, which we are. Bang on it.
It sounds like we're in a dream.
That's what we're trying to say this whole time.
What's going on is
Oh Christ! I know what it is. I bet you've got a Firefox open here somewhere. Have you got
No, it couldn't be that you've got.
You've only got the one.
You haven't got live stream open, have you? No. I don't know what the hell are you on about? You deny this. You deny this, and later on we'll see that you're all rolling echo land.
Oh, the bed guest was well loud. Push.
The bed guest was well loud.
So, have you got a mic over there somewhere?
Well, see, you need to pick up your mic when you're speaking and put it to your mouth.
Okay, that's me.
That's you see, so you're not echoey.
Okay.
I speak close to my mic so that I'm not echoey. You speak.
Echoey.
You shouldn't be echoey, but we can put it. We can
You should
put.
be able to hear the bed guest.
Can you hear me?
we can put that. We can
Put his mic even closer to his mouth. But I mean, it shouldn't be echoey. I'm not hearing it myself. I don't know what you guys are getting. Maybe there's something wrong with live stream at the moment. The voices are all jumbled up. Malcolm sounds like he has a West Country effect.
Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is it possible for people out there to be running 2 or 3 copies
Copies
of
of the
live stream?
same browser. Yeah, you can be opening live stream twice and you can have it echoing that way. That's a possibility. I tell you what, one of you's got your laptop, haven't you?
No,
You didn't bring it, did you?
You're
Okay.
saying your bed warmer is wearing a wire. You haven't got a wire on it.
I ain't got a wire on. Oi.
Is he wearing a wire?
Alright, I'll speak over here. Can you hear me at this volume?
He hasn't got a microphone, so what Debbie has to do is hand him the microphone when he wants to speak, you see.
Well, they can hear me from here, apparently.
Yes, we're not all mic'd up, you see, because I know people think that we're kind of like a really expensive, television studio here. But let's lay this out in a line, right? It might look professional and right, but this is a webcam, okay? And let's have a look. This is a webcam, right? It's the same type of webcam, but it's in a different position. And then we've got a HDV camera, and I've got 2 radio mics and a mixing desk. That's it, folks.
It's fine with one camera.
It's fine with one camera.
I think when you came to this, that's when it was fine.
Oh, I tell you what, there's probably something's happened to put the line in on.
Proper job.
Right, hang on then. Line in. Oh, I'm really sorry, folks. This is bollocks, isn't it? But we shall chat. Hang on. There's the culprit. Microsoft DV Cam. It's taking the camera audio. Bastard. There you go. It should be quite nice now when we go to speak to Malcolm on his camera. Say hello.
Hi.
There we go.
Is that better, folks?
I dare not touch these buttons, you see, because we've had this in the past. I know you're kind of thinking like, Matt, what are you doing? There are various screens, right, that I dare not touch because this program is very, very crashy. If you go into the settings screens, it crashes and the stream goes. So I daren't do it because what happens then is you end up with a hung stream and I cannot get the stream to play. Okay, so the first half of the show is lost, and then we carry on, and then there's no front end to the show. So basically, I don't touch the button. So cool, up a bit on Malcolm. Yeah, that's fine. We can get Malcolm a bit louder. Right, sir.
Right.
What's the meaning of the universe? And I will need it fast because we're getting boring here.
Well, what I'd like to make clear is that in that phase of my life, 2006, 2008, I took an interest in the crop circles. And although I didn't go for the black helicopters, the aliens or anything along those lines, I found it very difficult to believe that humans could make them without a lot of dosh and some very high tech. I think when you look at things like 777 formation and 08, it's quite difficult for people out there to conceive of the fact that people could possibly do that. On the 08 one, we had a family party with people from all over the country.
Right.
About that time.
You mean you bloody making crop circles, you bastard?
Well, yeah, I got blamed for making it. I said, come on here, mate. And it was Liz's cousin, actually, Richard.
How dare you make crop circles? You disrespect the farmers.
I had a full screen photo of the 08 formation on the computer. I said, look, are you telling me human beings made this? And he looked at it, and he looked, and he said, I'm a scientist. People couldn't possibly have made that. And I think this is part of the problem, you know, people assume that because they've been trained as whatever, that they've got some form of insight into these things.
There we are. I've put the microphone settings all the way back to where they should be now, because we sorted out that the fact that the mic sound is coming in off the DV camera, and that was what was fucking up.
Right.
So yes, you were out there on the 888. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I'd like to make clear, that in that period we were probably visiting crop circles and the Silent Circle Cafe.
Matt, I think you got the wires crossed. Malcolm wasn't involved in making 888.
Right. Do you want to give him the microphone a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just making a point.
Oh, bloody hell, that's so loud. Okay, go on.
I just wanted to clarify something. Matt, it sounds like you got your wires crossed because Malcolm wasn't involved in making.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, the 888 thing at all. No, this is when you visited
Yeah.
before you knew about them being made,
Right.
man-made, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify it because Matt got the wrong
Right.
end of the stick.
Right. I'm sorry.
So am I. I must have said something back to front. Did I?
Yeah. Okay.
No, quite the reverse, actually.
I'm buggering about with bloody technical things when I should be listening to the guest a bit more. Sorry.
Quite the reverse. I mean, in those years, visiting formations and the Silent Circle Cafe, the people that we came into contact with made a point of telling us to stay well clear of those
Places.
dreadful people
Oh, yeah.
that hang around the barge and claim to make crop circles. So I did make some notes about it, but I think we know what we're talking about here. And that situation sort of never occurred, but in the following spring,
Mm-hmm.
on the back of the banking crisis, I decided to start a series of weekly film nights, really starting off with Rory Bremner's Silly Money
Yes.
series and other things. But because there was quite an interest in people getting together and doing that sort of stuff and talking about conspiracies and whatever and what's really going on in the world, the menu got a bit more varied. And because we were in the Pewsey Vale and I had an interest in crop formations, I did show a few fairly mediocre crop circle films.
Right. Was this before my attending your thing? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You came along very soon afterwards, Matt. And,
Right. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
person playing bullshit crop circle video.
Yeah. So
Quick.
we've got to educate
Get
this
him.
bloke.
Get him. Yeah.
And I actually made what I consider to be a lot of friends and some really nice people. Met up with some really nice people, and found that many of them were actually the human crop circle makers that I'd been told to stay well clear of. So it's quite obvious that somebody was lying.
Oh, goodness.
And why were they lying? Why were they giving me all this bullshit?
Indeed.
And within a few weeks, that newfound friendship developed into being actually asked out to see how it was done, which was...
That was me, by the way, not Malcolm. That's beer for you. Sorry.
Yeah, oh, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. White beer. Okay.
White. Look, he's got the real thing.
Organic white beer.
He's got the real stuff.
Yeah, so...
made out of gold.
We were invited out to see how it was done, and we duly turned up at the appointed place and found ourselves with 2 circle makers and 4 stomping boards.
Yeah, it's like, you thought this was going to be fun, didn't you?
Yeah, we thought we'd gone to watch. Yeah. But the net result of that was the establishment of some pretty profound respect for not just the circle makers themselves, but for human beings in general. The thing that struck me immediately was that even with my relatively poor eyesight, standing in the middle of a field with no moon and no torch, most human beings can actually read a diagram.
You cannot be serious, sir. We do not believe you. This is a complete fallacy. You cannot see in the dark at night and create crop circles. Sorry. Yes.
I think the bit that remains incredible to me is the ability of the designers to actually transfer what is on paper into the field. That is...
It's a memory skill, isn't it? You know, and sort of knowing where you are and thinking ahead, and you know. But it's like.
But it was sufficient. It was quite a small formation, but it was quite sufficient to educate me into realising that with sufficient people who knew what they were doing, absolutely anything was possible.
Anything's possible,
including 08.
08, which was the one I mistakenly thought you were involved in. No, you came after that. Yeah. Yes. So yes, you'd been thrown in the deep end then, and you saw some people making a crop circle. Yeah. How was that crop circle received? Can we talk about which one it is, or is it going to be a bit of a have to hedge around it?
Let's hedge around it. Yeah.
Let's hedge around it. Yeah. Okay. It's one of those. It was a good one then, basically, wasn't it?
It was a relatively small one, across about 3 tram lines, well, less than 3 tram lines.
Yes.
But the experience was quite astonishing, because the additional creation that...
Tell you what, write down on this piece of paper which one you're talking about, so I know, but they won't, because I want to know which one you're talking about. Sorry, I got to. Is it working?
Yeah.
Oh, is it working? I thought the pencil wasn't working.
No, it's not. Is it a pencil or a pen?
It's a pencil, but you have to spin the end. That's it. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep. Well, that's fine. No, if he tells me which one it is, then I'll know what we're talking about, because I like to kind of understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Sorry to. So you saw these people out at night making a crop circle, and was it well received?
Yeah. Yes, it was. I was astonished to find some of the things that people wrote about what had been created. I think after several days, the one that really astounded me was the chap who managed to explain it with about 4 solid A4 pages of nuclear physics.
Really?
Really, yeah.
Oh dear. So, okay, well, we're getting sort of esoteric ideas out of the thing that you just seen being made. How did that make you feel, that people were starting to sort of unravel, you know, what you'd previously thought to be impossible? Because am I right in saying? I mean, am I right in saying that Mr. Malcolm at one point in time used to be a vehement, bloody crop circle lover that used to tell people that the fucking crop circles can't be made with people, you fucking bastards. Yes, right. And then, well, not quite like that. Maybe not quite like that. But he used to be sort of, very much a believer. And is that you? Are we talking to the same Malcolm?
I'm getting your drift, Matt.
Are we talking to... No. Because it's an interesting phenomena when people, because I was a believer once, I was a believer, man in discarnate voice behind there, if I press this button there, him, Lee, we were all believers. We all believed what we were told, and then suddenly something happened and, it changed it all. Yeah, well, so that was your experience. So
yeah, but
what happened? Did you freak out? Did you go like, "Oh my God"?
I was actually I felt privileged to have been given that opportunity, and I felt joy for the human race because there's all those people.
Or like happy joy like this, which I'm going to put in.
Yeah.
Just to remind people that we're not actually as negative as you think.
No, I mean, what actually happened is we lost quite a few friends who, some of whom had spent some considerable years worshipping aliens and wanting aliens to come and rescue people from themselves.
Indeed, worshipping aliens, yes. Yes, and expecting them to come and save us when things go wrong.
Yeah, fixing your gear, Matt, stuff like that. Yeah.
Fixing
your gear, perhaps.
Fixing my gear?
Yeah.
Can't afford Apple, mate. That's what it is. Yeah, right. Yes, we've met a few believers in our time. We've met a few alien lovers and alien people that kind of. I'm going to skip across to one person. No. We'll do it later. There's a believer out there that was very, very upset, unlike yourself, and has been writing on your website recently, hasn't there? There's a believer who thinks that it's all a waste of time to be, involved in it. What do you think about that sort of frame of mind? Do you think it's a waste of time to make crop circles and give people something to think about? And do you think it's not a genuine venture? What do you think?
I struggle with that particular person's attitude and belief system because she quite clearly is blaming the...
You've narrowed it down now. You should have said they, but she, yes, okay.
Yeah, well...
There are some... Yes, sorry, I'm breaking it.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a little bit awkward, isn't it, when people don't believe and...
Well, it is, because what we're really talking about here is an art form, just like paintings, just like architecture and music, which, unfortunately, in this country, has got itself into a rather peculiar situation where the artists don't get rewarded for what they do, and other people make money out of what they create.
Indeed.
And this particular person seems to be blaming the creators for what the people who have created an industry around the artwork have done, which I find rather peculiar.
I mean, what we could basically say is that there are some people. Let's have a look at the emails we've got here somewhere. So you see, we got a circle maker who's made a statement, and we'll read the statement out later on, and there's a few people have responded afterwards to how people personally react when confronted with the information that crop circles are indeed man-made. How people react, and there's been some sort of like angst over this in the past, and we don't want to upset people, but the truth is the truth. I mean, if you've tuned into this channel and you're sort of finding out for the first time that people make crop circles, I mean, it's like, sorry there's no Father Christmas, but it might have been in the past, but it doesn't mean that everything is over, it means that we need to understand what is going on, who's doing what, and whether or not the people that say they see strange things are kind of, to be believed around crop circles, because a lot of people say that strange things happen around crop circles. So have you seen anything yourself? Because you haven't just done that one circle, you've been out a few times now, haven't you? How many times do you reckon you've been out? Go on.
5, I suppose.
Yes, So
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every
You've been out
formation is memorable in itself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You've been out for 5 formations, and they're 5 pretty important formations, aren't they? Which you can't talk about, which is awkward.
Again, I
Yeah.
didn't wangle my way into this. I got dragged right into the middle of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that people could kind of understand. You were brought in, and you were shown. You were shown. It's like here's a person who wants to see. He was brought in, and he was shown. And did it blow your mind?
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
And
especially after the second one, which I think was a Saturday night job, and then on Monday, this crazy but incredibly competent pilot took me up for a couple of hours.
That'll definitely blow your mind. Yeah.
That did my head in.
Yeah.
2 hours flying around looking at crop circles.
Yeah. Was it 2 hours or 1 hour? I normally do 1 hour.
It was supposed to be an hour, Matt, but you were very generous. You were very kind.
And I said, "Oh, come on, then, let's fucking see them all. Then let's go
Yeah.
to Scotland. Fuck it." Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were that would adrenalise you. I'm sure you'll be like totally buzzed up and sort of like wow on a wire after flying. Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened next then?
I don't know. Where were we?
You were saying, have you had any strange experiences? And you said, well, like the second circle, you said was quite an interesting one, and we kind of developed on. Are you?
Yeah. No.
Strange experiences,
I think if you're digging for sort of paranormal stuff, then
yes, please. I am digging for paranormal stuff. Paranormal stuff would be good. The paranormal stuff, if you bring it out now and put it in front of you, that would be fine. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
If you have it, show it.
The answer is a very brief yes.
Oh, good. Right, okay.
You might not like the explanation.
Right.
But it does involve a black directed flying object that was certainly unidentified. It was seen by 5 people who, in the subsequent sort of 10 minutes later, all agreed on what they'd seen. And now, when things have had time to get confused, I don't think anyone actually...
You're talking about making a circle, and you're out there.
Heading off towards...
You're heading off towards to making a circle,
Yeah.
and you've seen something while you're on your way into a field.
Walking on a bridle path, yeah.
Mm. And you've conferred with everybody later, and what did they see? What did you say you'd seen?
I think where we all agreed was that we suddenly saw an irregular shaped object about 20-30 feet in the air, about 40 feet ahead of us, moving from our right to our left, diagonally,
right,
at a constant height.
So it was coming down or going up? It's coming...
A constant height.
Oh, constant height, diagonal. Oh, I see.
Diagonally.
Okay.
There was a there was a large tree.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Yeah.
There was
yeah.
a large tree on our left, and this flying object disappeared behind the tree. And when we carried on and got past the tree, there was nothing there to be seen.
Oh.
That much we all more or less, we weren't all grouped together in a bunch of 5. We were spread out a little bit, so it's possible that we saw different things. But my interpretation was that it was about 8 foot long and about 3 foot deep, but the shape changed. It had sharp, straight lines to it, but curves to it. If it had had a broomstick and a pointy hat, I would have said it was a witch. If it wasn't maintaining height and direction, if it didn't have a particular vector to it, I would have thought maybe it was a very large plastic bag.
Oh. Right.
But
they don't tend to float around unless
they don't.
Well,
I mean, things like the heavy black plastic that cover bales. I can't see how that would.
But you'd have to have a lot of hot air and a heat source, and you'd have to seal it up and then let that go. And it's not the type of thing, because why would you let something black go that doesn't actually have lights on it or is going to be attracted to something? Yeah, you saw something dark, didn't you? It was a
very
dark
dense
thing.
Black, yeah.
Dark thing. You
Very
saw a
dense
shadowy thing. We've heard a lot about shadow figures in the past, and you saw something dark. Okay.
Yeah.
What did it do? Where was its destination? What happened?
Well, beyond the tree there was open fields. There's open fields behind the tree. It was only a matter of seconds. We were walking quite briskly towards what we were going to do, and there wasn't really any time for it to, at the speed it was travelling, to go anywhere. But it certainly disappeared, and we didn't see it again.
Right. Okay. So that was a good way to start off a circle making night, I'm sure. With a strange encounter, and it would polarise all the circle makers into a sort of positive frame of mind.
Well, it certainly ended up very positive. Yeah, we got the job done pretty quickly, well within time, despite the fact that it was supposed to be a team of 8.
Right.
And we could only muster a team of 5.
Ah. Right, okay, but as we say, unfortunately can't tell you which circle it is, because it was a quite nice one, and therefore is alien made, which equals human, but is alien, as we know. So, yeah.
Just
we got. Oh, sorry. We got. Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
Let's bring Debbie in. Yes, she's got a question.
Got a question for Malcolm from Christina Dogass. Nice name.
Christina Dogass. Nothing nicer than a dog ass.
Okay, so what do you think it is about Avebury and Pewsey area that attracts the crop circles?
The historic landscape.
Yeah. Ooh, you make a very good point here as well. Historic landscape. Got any more to add to that, or? Because I can tell them that if they want to actually ask questions, what we should do is we normally say, if you want to Skype us, you can Skype us on CirclemakersTV. We've been a little bit out of sorts on this show. It's not the sort of normal show. We do we get into the show and repair things at the beginning, and then we actually introduce you to the show in the middle. Hello, I'm Matthew Williams, and this is Malcolm Treacher. Debbie and Lee, and if you wish to chat in the chat window, you can, and if you're naughty, you'll get banned. So I'll bring the chat stream up in a bit.
I think that name's naughty enough to get banned, surely.
What? Whose name?
Dog arse.
Dog arse. People are like that on the net, though. They like these sort of funny names. There you go. Look, I've brought up the chat stream so we can see whether people are being nice this week or not. And let's find out. Are people being nice in the chat room this week?
They certainly are.
They
too
are.
Nice.
They're being really nice, are they? Are they?
Much too nice.
Oh, there we go. You see, I mean, like the trouble is, I can't focus on the chat channel, so I rely on Agent S, or as we got Debbie here today, and we've had terrible problems in the past where people have been like, sort of spewing stuff up, but it's not happening this week. So we'll leave this chat window thingy up at the bottom, and we will go back to pressing buttons like bring me on the screen. And yes, right, paranormal experiences. That's your only one, is it?
Afraid so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, in relation to crop circles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the situation with people believing that crop circles are made by aliens and going around talking about that? You know, what do you think about all of the industry that's there?
I'm very uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
From in actual fact, the situation with crop circles is pretty much a microcosm of the political, financial and legal scene where we, the people, are being lied to. And certainly there are people out there who are making money knowing that the crop formations that they're bothering with are made by people and they're selling them as something else. And that is not a good thing to be going on at all.
Yeah, a lot of people do sort of carry it on, don't they? You know, it's like keep the myth alive, and we can make a bit of money on it, and it's great.
But it's interesting that this year, in 2011, on the run-up to 2012, we've got what amounts to a CirclemakersTV strike.
Oh, yeah.
And a union strike. So we have actually got the signs of some sort of elevation of somebody's human consciousness here. The thing that our so-called government are doing with the cuts is not only unnecessary, it's absolutely obscene.
Cuts to tax cuts to which things?
Well, everything. The whole concept of a banking crisis that the people have to bail out.
Yes,
banks.
Yes.
And then when it comes to things for the people, we haven't got the money, so we've got to have our pensions reduced. We've got to pay more into the pension pot. We've got to lose jobs. We've got to take a cut in pay. Our roads don't get mended. All this sort of stuff. It's all complete and utter nonsense. It's not necessary.
Well,
it's a lie.
Yes. Do you think that some of the people that are out there in crop circle world then should be sort of restricted or exposed? I mean, what's your sort of views on discussion about the facts? Do you think that it's okay to just leave things to sort of happily, merrily fester away like a little mould and grow and just sort of, move on? Or do you think that somebody actually needs to say, hang on, something's going on here and we need to sort of expose this? What's your sort of stance? Are you sort of proactive, or are you...
I think it would have to be said that I'm proactive, yeah.
You're proactive in telling people that crop circles are made by people. And who have you encountered when telling people that crop circles are made by people that has given you fucking shit? Yes, sorry.
Well,
oops.
Yeah, that has happened, yeah. I have been on the
Who have you been fucking shitted by?
Yes, I have been on the receiving end of some pretty terse words and actually physical violence, because
violence
on one occasion somebody
violence
thought I was going to say that crop circles. I wasn't actually going to say it, but just thinking that I was going to say it was enough to send someone I considered a friend of mine into a rage. He also thought I was going to say Matthew Williams.
I think I remember this. You got pushed, didn't you, off a step and tripped and fell?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that something? Is that correct?
I didn't trip and fall, but I could well have done. Yeah.
Yes, you could have done.
I was physically pushed. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Well,
but I don't blame the people concerned. I mean, I think anyone who feels like giving up on the human race has got quite just cause for that, because we're run by a bunch of cretins, and the vast majority of people in our society are too damn lazy to do anything about it.
Well, people don't look into things, do they? They just kind of take other people's opinions and then wear them as their own sort of like, you know, their own camouflage.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, right, this is what everybody else is thinking. Right, I'll just go around thinking what everybody else is thinking. I've got camouflage on now. I can be like everybody else. You know, it's like, yeah, when do people start thinking for themselves and actually saying, hang on, I want to do some research into this and find out what's really going on?
Usually,
you know?
Usually that happens to people when they have something bad happen to them, which is what happened to me. I had a really bad experience which caused me to question things. And
Right.
I've met, I mean, that was like 11 years ago.
Right.
And in the past 11 years, I've met other people who are in a similar situation.
And that bad experience was your losing the job and disillusionment and all that sort of stuff. You know, they're losing the business.
I would go beyond that.
That's your bad experience. I'm just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
interested when
yeah.
you say to me like I've had a bad experience. I have to specify what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about. We're here to talk about crop circles and people.
Yeah.
But I think.
Was it okay? It's nothing to do with crop circles. Then,
well,
yeah.
No, not to do with
you
crop
sound like a
circles,
life-altering experience here. I'm interested in life-altering experiences.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got a profound interest in psychology, and I've also got an interest in spirituality.
Right.
And I am aware that our society is manipulated and conditioned intentionally, so to the point where people's weak points are played upon to their detriment.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They wouldn't do that, would they?
No.
Like they wouldn't. They wouldn't do 9/11. They wouldn't do 7/7.
No.
They wouldn't do
They
Nagasaki and Hiroshima, would they? They wouldn't do that on purpose.
They wouldn't give money to train people up to fly planes into buildings. No. And I've heard people this week going on, fucking Charlie Veitch is now a government puppet. You know, he's. Do you know about this? I'm actually, here we are. We get some live reaction. You know, this is not scripted. This show, you know, it's like live reaction. You like Charlie Veitch? Love Police? Love Police? Oh, God, bloody hell! Typical, isn't it? It's you know, this is what you get when you get people who don't have houses and live in bloody little holes in the ground. You know, yeah, right. Live in bloody holes in the ground, and then they got no YouTube and no television, and then they don't know bloody anything. Don't you know Charlie Veitch? No. And the Love Police is the guy with a megaphone. He goes around going, "Everything is okay." You must have seen his stuff. Everything's okay. Go back to shopping. Shopping is okay. You know, have you seen the Love Police? You haven't seen all that? No. Well, he's having a new arsehole ripped for him by the internet at the moment because they're going, oh, he's done a documentary for the BBC. Which is bad enough in itself, you know. I mean, just you know, always being part of a documentary on the BBC, it's bad enough. No, it goes further than that. Apparently, Charlie Veitch has gone on a trail of the 911 evidence, and he's now found out that the government story is right, and pretty much it happened exactly as everybody said it did, and you know, he's kind of changed his mind about it now, and he feels a little bit. Now, everybody's going, fuck Charlie Veitch, fuck Charlie Veitch, fuck Charlie Veitch. And it's like, so there's this like, this major sort of like swarm campaign going on of sort of, you know, people saying, you know, Charlie Veitch is hell and horrible and all this. And I'm like, hang on a minute. I'm just thinking to myself, wait, you haven't seen the show yet. You know, nobody's actually seen this show. Yeah? Everybody's... If we understand what Charlie Veitch understands, maybe we'll learn something. I mean, the thing is, we're all kind of arrogant, aren't we? You know, like conspiracy theorists. I mean, I'm arrogant in saying, you know, like, yeah, I think that, you know, if you go fighting wars for oil, you're going to get bloody people flying planes into buildings. That's, you know, that's what you get, you know, and you deserve it. That's pretty arrogant, isn't it? You deserve it. Yes, if you go fighting wars for fucking oil, you're going to get people flying planes into buildings. But the point is, are they helped? You know, is it helped along because it's good for business? That's the point. And I think Charlie Veitch is probably going to explore a lot of things that we may have thought that we knew, and maybe he'll come up with something we didn't know. I don't know. I'm just going to wait to see the show. I'm going to reserve judgment, and Charlie Veitch has not disappeared in my eyes yet. But here we are, Mr. Circlemaker, who is a crop circle believer. You know, I believe in Charlie Veitch, but if Charlie Veitch then turns out to be crap, I'll say, well, I'm wrong. You know, if Charlie Veitch is like, you know, if he has been, some people are saying he's been cloned. He's been cloned and replaced by a sort of new unit. I mean, you know, it's crazy shit. Well, anyway, what do you think about Charlie Veitch then, Guess? Because you know a little bit about him, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. And
what's your take on all of this then? Have you heard any of this stuff?
Well, this 9/11 thing is news to me, but I was already...
No! You mean I am the master. I am the master. I am the master. I had it first.
You're welcome to it, Matt.
Okay. There you go.
No,
Sorry, yes.
I think that the whole situation with how we live our lives and how we're governed and how we're herded is very complicated, and it is very difficult. I mean, one of the things with Charlie Veitch that I questioned a while ago was support for immigrant workers.
Right, yes. Supporting them in which way?
Yeah, I can't remember the actual details, but very often you find within a concept which is supposed to be a particular way of looking at things, that there are conflicting issues. There's various different ways of looking at this, but
okay.
You know,
I mean, Charlie.
Not everything that Charlie Veitch has done sort of rings true.
You don't think everything? Oh, right, okay. We got a Charlie skeptic. Ah, see, this called Charlie skeptic. Not everything he does rings true.
Yeah.
Well, he's human. He's. Some people have said, "Oh, look at him. He's a fashion-conscious prick. You know, he's just like dressed up really nice and he looks really cool. You know, so what? So what? If you happen to actually have a face that didn't look like it was the Elephant Man, you know, and you could wear a nice coat and things, and you could present yourself in public in that way, and you know, is that a bad thing? I mean, he came from financial institute background. So he was a banker. He had loads of money. So he used to go around all the Soho shops in London and buy clothes, and he's got them all. Now he's fucked all that off. Oops, sorry, bang the mic. He's fucked all that off. He's still got his clothes. What's wrong with that? People are accusing him of being a bastard because he wears all fashionable clothes. And it's like, well, you know, it's like fashionable clothes, is that it? You know, do you ignore the message just because of the clothes the person's wearing? What do you think? Would you ignore the... sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm on a rant. I'm on a rant mode now. Would you... here's the question. Would you ignore somebody simply because of the clothes they're wearing being too flash, even if they got a good message?
Probably.
Okay. Okay.
I think what I'd like to add to that, Matt, is
true, though. It's true. It is true.
We have a number of human failings, and one of them is
that's
that
true.
when our emotions are raised by whatever means, there's a chemical process which shuts off our ability to think logically.
Yes. Like being on an internet live TV show.
Yeah.
That sort of shit. Yeah.
In front of a camera. Yeah.
It does do that, don't it?
and the people who control us, or like to think that they can control us.
Oh, I know somebody who controls us. Yes.
Yeah. they are aware that they can trigger emotional responses which lead people to respond to that emotional trigger and ignore the logic. Probably one of the simplest, or is it most simple? One of the more simple explanations of this would be the environmental movement.
Yes.
Now, once again, I was consider myself privileged to being part of the environmental movement in the late 70s.
Yeah.
I think I was simultaneously a Greenpeace supporter, Friends of the Earth supporter.
Oh, good.
Animal Aid, Compassionate World Farming, Oxfam, K4, you name it, I was there.
You were there. Yeah.
Because I'd had a spiritual experience that lifted me up into a world where I was blocking off all the materialistic stuff, and I was looking for other reasons for things and improving everyone's lives. And at the time, I thought I was doing okay.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, it's quite easy to see how people like the Club of Rome were
The
actually
Club of Rome.
manipulating people's emotions, triggering people's natural concerns about the planet and about their fellow human beings into following certain paths which were actually benefiting their agenda.
Yes.
So we have to be careful that when we come across charismatic people like Charlie Veitch,
It's a good point.
hasn't been...
It's a good point.
He hasn't been led into doing things...
You know, it's like if you put all your shares into environmental stuff and then you start sending out propaganda saying, "Oh, be green," then you're going to make loads of money, aren't you?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Al Gore was a prime example.
You know, it's a good, you make a good point. I mean, you know, we know that stock markets have been crashed by people coming along saying, "Oh no, there's going to be a war," and everybody's like, "Oh, quick, drop," you know, and then they go, "Oh no, there's no war," and it's like, and they've bought all the shares that have just been dropped. You know, we know people do this sort of stuff, and yet even these days, it still doesn't kind of get through to some people. But
it can be done on a massive scale. I mean, I tried to catch you out with Hiroshima and Nagasaki earlier, but I failed miserably.
Oh, you tried to catch me out.
I tried to get your attention with it, and I was hoping you'd
Sir,
say, "What the hell are you going on about, Mark?"
Sir, do it.
Well, the reason being is it's back to the deception thing. And if you look at the history of the Second World War and how it ended, you'll find that the Japanese had already offered surrender terms that were incredibly similar to the ones that they finished up with after the 2 atomic bombs were dropped. They'd already agreed to surrender. And it would appear that those 2 atomic bombs were a demonstration. They were a demonstration for a particular reason, and that was to terrify the world about the possibility of a nuclear war. And it was actually used as a platform to create the Cold War. Now, I've got an interesting take on this because I was in the Air Force.
We're going to give you a 3-minute counter on this one because we're Crop Circle TV and we want to get some fucking crop circles in there. So go on, 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
If you look at the Hercules
to the final countdown.
If you look at the Hercules that are flying around now, you'll see the dark green camouflage.
Ah, indeed.
They were actually repainted in the mid-70s.
Yes.
Because of the Cold War. Previous to that, they were sort of cream and brown. They were cream and brown because the threat appeared to be coming from the Middle East. But by the mid-70s, they created a false threat of a possible war with Soviet Russia. And so the entire Hercules fleet were painted dark green.
Aha.
They are still dark green, but instead of being in Northern Europe, they're in the Middle East.
There you
but they haven't been repainted.
You can tell your military mind's thinking by the types of forward-thinking paint that they paint their aircraft. That's, you know, here we are. So it's true, though. It's probably true. If you think about it, it's basically quite simple. It's like, well, which type of camouflage are we going to need on our aircraft?
Yeah, well,
sandy stuff. Yes. Okay. No. It's got to be foresty type stuff. Which types of wars are you going to be fighting soon? Yes. Okay. It does tend to tell you something, doesn't it? Yeah.
What I'm suggesting, Matt, is that the Cold War was a complete fabrication, and the change in paint colours was a a necessary part of the game
Indeed.
at the time.
Now we've got well, I was going to call you Agent Debbie, but you're not Agent Debbie. You're just Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie.
We've got a couple of questions coming up, and I want to go back to what Christina Dog asked was saying about why you think
you're not
you
getting off the hook. Apparently,
no, you're not getting off the hook. She's not happy with your answer.
No, you didn't.
Why you think people like ourselves sort of congregate in the Avebury and Pewsey Vale area? What it is about this area that you think we all turn up for?
Why do people congregate in this area?
Yeah,
that's a very important point. You have a minute
try
of
doing the same
uninterrupted
thing in East
time.
Anglia or the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah. And your point is?
I said, try doing the same thing in East Anglia or the Scottish Highlands. The landscape.
The people just don't accept that sort of stuff.
Is also helpful in showing the formations off.
Yeah, I've just carrying on that question. I think the people gather in the area. Well, it's a bit of a mystery, I guess, really, but we're all drawn here for some reason. And when you look at it, the area has got stone circles and ancient tombs and all these burial mounds and
wee-wees. I got wee-wees.
It's got all these, ancient sites and stuff on there, and I kind of think that people have been drawn to this area forever. And I don't know why. There's going to be some sort of positive energy or something here that pulls us here, because people that tend to come here always seem to be seeking the truth. And I don't know why that might be, but there's a reason, and it's been going on, for a long time.
Yeah, I would question that people come here seeking the truth, because they come here and they continue to be...
yeah. I think
some people don't look for the truth.
Well, I think they look for the truth that makes them feel good about themselves, maybe. But, we all go through that, and I kind of think that's what brings back to the crop circles, is they might be a sort of key to unlocking consciousness. And if you're ready to receive relevant information, even, let's face it, there's quite a few people who are like the researchers and people that are actively against human circle makers, but they're still into the same things as the human circle makers. In a lot of respects, we're on the same team. I've overheard a few people speaking that I know that are anti-circle makers, and they were talking about, the New World Order, the Illuminati, things going on in the world that are really relevant. And I thought, well, we're on the same page on that department.
Yeah.
As soon as you mention the crop circle thing, barrier comes up.
How can you be so diametrically opposed on one subject and then completely in agreement on the other? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then I suppose you could say, well, we all eat food, don't we? But we don't all like being gay. So it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
There's another question, but it's for Agent L.
Agent L.
Yeah, you said you might go out this year. Have you? If not, will you?
Oh, sorry. I promised I wasn't going to eat one of these sweets, and I'm bloody unwrapping
one. Yeah.
Go on the couch.
Oh, Malcolm, just quickly as well. How do you think circles enrich people's lives?
As any art form does enrich people's lives. For me, when I found out it was people making crop formations, there was no disappointment there whatsoever. In fact, I was amazed that that people were capable of such artwork and prepared to do it.
There are a lot of people out there doing it as well. You've met how many people? Mm-hmm. How many people have you met?
Making
circles.
Dozens.
Good. Dozens of people, working.
Everywhere.
Yes.
You never know who you're speaking to.
Yeah. Okay. And you know this to be true. I mean, it's mostly what we hear for is obviously crop circle making TV, but I mean, what would you say is the upshot of the crop circles then? What are crop circles good for, in your opinion, now that you've seen it fully rounded off? You've come in as a bit of a, unknowing person. You've gone through the whole thing. You've been shown the truth. You've been out, seen the circles being made. You've seen people making accusations that these circles are made by aliens, or making wild claims about it. What do you think now? At the end of the day, what is crop circles for you? What does it mean?
Gosh, Matt, that's quite a deep question, isn't it? I think it is about human consciousness. I'm saddened to think that we, as a race, have got ourselves into such a mess that there are people who desperately want to be saved by some force other than human beings. I think we should be rejoicing in the fact that we are capable of making this art form. And after all, it's not such a difficult thing to comprehend, is it? I mean, do we say that aliens make the pyramids, or created Van Gogh's work, or any form of music that you well, how about Rolling Stones? I mean, did aliens make Rolling Stones music?
Yeah, were the Rolling Stones capable of doing that?
We're only talking about, an art form in a field, and clever though it is an art form. And it would be a shame if just because people realised that it was people making the formations, that they couldn't get that buzz, they couldn't get that lift that they get from thinking that it's something weird. I think the lift should come from the enjoyment. Just like people get a lift from listening to certain types of music, appreciating certain types of film even, the work that goes into creating a good movie.
Or certain types of drugs, the effort that goes into creating certain types of lysergic diethylamide lysergic acid.
The thing with the crop circles is I personally think they're just the vehicle.
Oh, we need to get you a mic, don't we?
We do need
yes.
a mic.
Go on. Carry on.
I forgot what I was going to say then. No, I'm joking.
Oh, my mic.
Can you hear me in that?
Yeah, we should have given you a mic.
Hang on. We put the test screen up.
No, it's okay. It's one of those. I should have given him a mic when he
Mike,
went over onto the seat, but I forgot. Oh, good. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Mike over there. Look.
Whilst he puts his microphone on, let's talk about something else. I've got lots of interesting material here, which I'm going to now bore you with senselessly. Let's go across to some stuff that is going to make this a memorable show. A memorable show that will make it worthwhile tuning into. Right. We've got some stuff on the computer, which Debbie is going to now operate for us.
The lamp is still saying, you were saying that you were going to go out. Have you? And if not, why not?
Can you hear me on the microphone now?
We can now, yes.
Shall I answer that question?
Yeah.
No, I haven't decided whether I'm going to go out or not, actually. Just yesterday I started doodling, as I often do. And it wasn't particularly a good one. I didn't really feel like doing that. But then, to be honest with you, you got to feel it, haven't you? I'll sort of sit there in silence and try to see what comes up. And then the one that came up, I thought it was all right. But then today I had another idea, which I fancied doing, but not necessarily in the area. So in answer to your question, I don't know. I'll just see what happens. That was the short answer. Yeah.
Well, we've got some other stuff we can chat about, which is there's a gentleman who hangs around here called Roger Wibberley, and he's on here tonight. I can see his name, Roger_W. So he's in channel, so he's picking this up, and Roger_W is a very clever chap because he worked something out. Oh my God, hang on, let me push this button here and you can see what it is. Look what Roger Wibberley worked out. He worked out that this crop formation that was in a field actually has a number. Oh, I can't get rid of the bloody foreground. Get rid of chat room. Chat room, be gone. Go. Chat room. Go. Chat room. Chat room, go. Go. There you go. Chat room's gone. Right. Okay, Roger Wibberley has found out that this design has an interesting feature. And if we scroll in a little bit, if we zoom in, so you use the little scroller thing, this is training on the go, by the way. And if we have a look, you can see the the numerology of this crop circle is like a decimal calculator. So it's like the 8 symbol, you know. Basically, we've got 0, 9, 3, 2, 5, 5, 9, 5, 3. So I think it's something like that. Now, if we have a look at the next slide, which will probably be press right, if you type that in 932 5953 into a mapping program, such as the Ordnance Survey mapping software, Bing or something like that, you actually find out that that's pretty much the location of where the crop circle was. It's not a million miles away. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So Roger's worked out that if you type that in, SU 0932 5953, that this crop circle happens to be in Wiltshire. That's a number that So I wonder whether the aliens are using Ordnance Survey maps.
How close is it to the actual where the formation is in?
Where
does it say on the beach?
Well, let's just point it out, right? Okay, if we get the mouse up on screen, you can see now. Right, if we zoom in a bit, right, this is Woodborough over here. So that's Woodborough, and then you drive up the road, and you've got Honey Street Farm, and I would say that this canal here is meaning that the public house PH there that you can see me wibbling on is the Barge Inn. So, if we zoom back, and I'll give you a centralised location. So this is a centralised location based on this it's not a very accurate number, but if you type this number in, you get centralised to this area, which is in fact down here. Don't know what that means, but it centralises it to this area. So that crop circle may have been designed with a number that locates it on an Ordnance Survey map. That's interesting, isn't it? Indeed. So, right, what else have we got to show you? We've also got something which will be quite controversial. Seeing as Debbie, the lovely, it's like Debbie McGee now, isn't it? It's like the lovely Debbie. We've got the lovely Debbie, you know, and I will now disappear and turn into Malcolm, you know, and see, no magic tricks. Oh, so it's not very good, is it, really? I'm not as good as him. Bastard, short-up bastard. Right, okay. But if we...
Paul Daniels.
Yeah, Paul Daniels, yes. If we have a look at something that you were talking about on this show previously, what is this? Would you like to tell us what this represents?
Well, it looks like a big pair of pants to me.
A big pair of underpants.
A big pair of Y-fronts.
A big pair of Y-fronts, yes. It's the pants formation.
Well, it's interesting because...
if we rotate it slightly, you can see it's kind of like a pair of pants.
It's got a bulge and everything.
Yeah, you know. It's got this man socket.
The thing is, I spoke to the people involved in that.
Yeah.
Actually, and they said...
you spoke to the people involved in that. I love the euphemisms, yes. Right. Yes, okay.
They said that while they were going around there, they were just laughing the whole time.
They were having a fucking laugh when they were doing it,
but not in the respect that it was there to laugh at people. They found the whole concept funny, and one person in particular was just telling me that every time he was laughing, he was stomping and just putting that nice energy into the crop. Now you've got to understand that everything in the universe is energy, and other people can perceive energy. Yes. So if whatever the intent is going into that crop, then people are going to pick it up. And I like to think that a lot of people got a good kick out of that as a bit of a sense of humour thing. Yeah. Except for one person that I did hear. Oh. One prominent researcher. No. Somebody that you was recently photographed in bed with, in fact. Really? Said that was one of the most profound and relevant circles of that year. No. Yeah. Which reminds you of the saying, the emperor wears no clothes, does it not?
So this particular formation, which looks like a pair of Y-fronts, was described, as we can see on screen here, by Professor Michael Glickman as a recurring fractal form, and that it shouldn't be taken in its literal sense of a square boxed thing. It should be taken in the form that you see down here in the... if I can zoom and scroll... sorry. If I can scroll this bit, it should be taken in this form. This is what it means. It means a recurring fractal type cellular structure, DNA type affair. Right, that's what it means. It's not a pair of pants.
Of
No.
No.
Anybody
Can I point out something interesting about that circle as well?
Yes, please.
Which it wasn't noticed until a couple of days later. But look at that picture there and just look at the lay of the crop. And can you see two three-dimensional pyramids next to each other?
Yes.
Isn't that unusual?
It is, to do with the lay of the crop, isn't it?
To do with the lay of the crop, yeah, and it's got these two pyramids. So sometimes, again, this is what makes crop circles very special, is the designers have ideas in mind and they go out to make those designs, but sometimes the universe says, well, actually, it needs a bit of a twist. And something happens in the creation where it's altered, because I've known previous designs to the finished result not looking anything like the desired design. And then afterwards, one formation in particular, which I won't tell you exactly what one it is for obvious reasons, but the design itself was missing a disc at the very top of it. And one of the people that were involved in making it actually made a bit of a mistake and just carried on making the line a little bit too far round, going out of the design. And by the time he realised it was too late, the line was in place. So we had to change and adapt the design to incorporate what he'd done.
Oh shit.
So we've
had an accident in the room. The beer's gone over the floor. The dog's come in. Oh shit! Right. Give me a second. Carry on talking, and I'll go and get a towel.
So I was saying that this mistake kind of evolved.
Carry on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, this mistake kind of evolved into an extra part being added to the crop circle. And then when the aerial photographs came in and we looked at the design, it suddenly looked complete because people were cross-referencing it with ancient accounts of the same sort of design which it was based on. And there was this disc.
Which one was it?
Yeah, there was this disc on the very top of it. With it was very relevant. You can probably work it out, but I'm not saying it.
Why not? Spit it out, boy.
Right.
But we've both been
We'll
involved
deal
in,
with that later.
haven't we? We've been involved in
We
a
certainly
circle
have,
that
yeah.
went round like that.
Oi, come on.
I was
Cassie.
sat back in amazement hearing
Take everything
you
out
talk
of this
about
room.
people
Come
making
on. Cass,
mistakes when they're making crop circles. I thought, surely that doesn't happen.
No.
Go.
We
Lee,
made
you've
up-
just got another question up here from Sonia. Why? Oh, wait a minute. Why do you think the circles are less elaborate this year?
Sorry.
Why do I think the circles are less elaborate?
I wonder.
At last, we come round to the thing. Well, there's quite a few prominent circle makers.
God.
Is the crisis over, Matt?
Sorry, I've just locked the door on the dog, and I've given her 3 dog treats.
Oh, Hedge Red is saying that the best team has gone fishing.
The best team has gone fishing.
She's been given
Something
three
like that, yeah.
three dog treats for her
Probably
excellent
true, mate,
behaviour in pouring beer over the floor. Naughty dog. Yes. Sorry. Why are what are teams doing this year? So you're saying?
The circles are less elaborate this year?
I think the circles are less elaborate this year because there's quite a few prominent circle makers in the area that are feeling a little bit upset by the continued manipulation and lies spread by certain individuals, mainly the researchers, who not only disagree with the circle makers, which is fine, they're entitled to an opinion, that's not the problem. They actually actively demonise the circle makers and spread the stories that they are vicious and, out to spread deceit and things like that. And it's simply not true because people put love and light into those circles and there's a lot of thought that goes into them. And they do a very positive thing. And because so many circle makers this year have got a bit upset about that, they're making a stand by not going out. And this is resulting in there's new teams around the area. Because obviously there's going to be people that like to have a go at doing things. And I think they come into the area and they're where all circle makers start. At the very beginning, working out techniques and things like that. And so far, there's 1 or 2 good ones, nice crisp ones this year, which I think are very good. But a lot of them have got little mistakes in here and there and what have you, and they're just finding their feet, and they'll go on to make very good circles, I'm sure.
Yes.
That's not to say that the energy in these circles is bad or anything like that, because I do believe that when human beings go into the circles and they meditate and things like that, all their energy and all their good positivity and thoughts and that go into the crop. And then the next people that come in, they go, cool, this circle was a bit lively, isn't it? I can feel all this energy. And this is what I was trying, this goes back to my point earlier, where I was saying that circles are the vehicle. That's all. You put the design in the floor, the first people that come in there, sometimes they think, oh, it feels a little bit flat in here. That's only because not many visitors have been there yet and put all the love into it, you know?
Yes.
So the more people that come, the more you add into the pool of energy that's in there, and the more people come. Towards the end of the season, that thing is alive. It's buzzing. People love it. You know, they can just pick up the energy at the bottom of the field. I mean, you felt it yourself, Malcolm.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that the sad thing is that there are people...
Your microphone is dropped down a little bit. Do you want to pop it back up on the top?
Microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
One of the most sad things... and possibly... Is that all right now?
Sorry, I just blew my ears out.
No, okay.
Sorry, Mark, go.
Yeah. One of the influencing factors... I mean, there was a lot of problems last year and the year before that. But I suspect that quite a few of the people tuned in tonight would be aware of Andy Buckley's video interview where he told a whole pack of lies about me. And accused me of saying things that I never actually said. And it just so happened that in the days following that, I was over to see Charlie Mallet at the Silent Circle, and there was a lady there who decided she recognised me and accused me of being a hoaxer. In fact, she pleaded with me to stop doing it. And there are people like her who have been totally misled and quite possibly genuinely believe that if they stopped human beings making crop formations, they would be able to study the real ones. I'm sorry, but that would be very difficult. And the most ridiculous thing about this woman's behaviour is, A, she was a psychologist with a master's degree in some advanced applied form of psychology. And she was taken in by Andy Buckley's lies. She didn't see through him. Someone who, you know, everyone knows to be a fruitcake. So I was quite offended by that. Not only that, but this same woman, with this wonderful knowledge that she had, at the time was charging people £50 a head to take them around crop circles in a car and tell these people all about the crop circles, everything that she knew about them. And she knew nothing.
Right, okay.
And still knows nothing, other than what I've told her.
They know nothing unless Malcolm has told them. They know nothing. Take no substitutes. Accept no substitutes. Accept no substitutes. Unless Malcolm has told you it is not true. Right, we were on the point before I noticed that the doggy had tipped over some beer. We were talking about pants, and there was a bit of a point. There was a point to it. Honestly, there really was. It's coming. Do you want to bring up the double-click the pants formation? Double-click the pants formation, and then it will come up. Right, and then we can go from the pants formation, which will show you that in the same season as the pants, there was also another revelation of the clothing of the genitals or genital type. And we will take you to it now. It's not going there. Why is it not doing it? It's this one. This formation. Because this formation must be fully acknowledged as the pornographic, as Michael Glickman has put it, pornographic art piece that it actually is, which is the cock and balls. This is the cock and balls formation.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that before.
Now you see, when somebody says cock and balls, yes, now you understand. Prior to this, it looked like a nice little formation which actually was based on DNA or, structures of, being things like that. But actually, we've got two big wangly danglies by here, right? And then we go up and over the Christmas tree with this big sort of, bumper sausage here. Who's touching another sausage on the other side, which is then going into
he's got a helmet and everything.
He's got he's a Sturbenführer active. Yes. Yes, he's got it all. He's got it all. Look, he's fully. You know, this is a gangbang in the fields. This is a gangbang, and people don't get it. Look, cock. There's 4 cocks there, and they're all wrapping round each other. You know, and this in the year of the pants. In the year of the pants beget cock and balls. So that's all I'm going to say. And then we've got this thing, and we've got William Gazecki. We'll come to him in a minute. What do you reckon then? Would you trust a man would you buy a car from this man? William Gazecki. Down. He's been on my case this week. We'll come to him in a second. But yes, back to crop circles and crop circle stuff. Mr. Malcolm, as you are the initial guest, I need to ask you, which of the formations have you seen being made are still to this day claimed as being alien? All of them? Are they all extraterrestrial, or are they considered, you know, sort of human made? Which are the side of the fence are they on? That you've seen with your own eyes, that you were there, maybe even actually helped stomp them out.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
All of them
allegedly
are still considered to be beyond human capability.
Yes, they're very good circles. You were really blessed, weren't you, in getting to go out with some sort of like
I was
spunky circle
I
makers.
did try to mess them up, mine, but I didn't succeed.
Right, okay.
Well, I didn't try to mess them up, but you know, I don't know what I'm doing.
You tried to mess them up?
No, I didn't try to mess them up.
There was one in particular that I made a dreadful mistake on, got sworn at.
Oh, really? That happens. Does happen. Yeah.
Fortunately, it only happened once.
Yes. Excellence is required, and there's no sort of short change in crop circles. You know, you make a mistake, it's like, you know, shit.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it wasn't a straightforward mistake. It was a mark disappeared and came back again afterwards.
Did it transform the design into a slightly different design that's still as profound as what it should?
No, it wrecked the design. And
did it?
The person involved had to put it right. You know.
It wrecked the design, and the person had to then correct something.
But he managed to correct it, though, did he?
Yes, incredibly well. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And
without my help.
We've got trippy sound again. Apparently, I've been told we've got trippy sound. It might be on one of the cameras. One of the cameras has probably still got the crap on it. Yes, probably has. Yeah, no problem. We've done it now, and hopefully it will be okay for next week then, as long as the program doesn't crash. So yes, you with that particular circle, which we cannot show you, unfortunately, on the show. That particular circle, which was corrected. Is there any significance being made into the fact that there is an error, or is it visible, the error that was there?
I haven't seen it mentioned, although
hasn't been mentioned.
I have been told that days following, some of the later photographs did show some of the damage. The corrected crop did fall down after a few days.
The corrected crop, the Dr. Crop type material.
Well, my mistake led to some crop being wrongly flattened, and it was stood back up again.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Okie doke.
And your heart sinks.
Yeah.
Yes.
I felt dreadful.
We've got a question coming in from the channel, so we'll go across to Agent Debbie.
Hello, I've just noticed that Roger
Debbie
underscore W is saying, you know what, I wish we could see at least one of the crop circles they speak of.
I know. You wish, but they're the good uns, and because they're proprietary, like copyright, you don't want to sort of kind of go there type material. We don't say. So yes, they have to.
They're a confession on camera.
What can they do?
They're in the alien camp. They're in the alien camp of ones.
Also, Sonia again.
Yes.
Do you do anything before you make a circle, and if so, why, Lee?
Do I do anything
before you make a circle, and if so, why?
Surely.
Yeah, lots of things.
Yeah.
Make a cup of tea,
have a bit of
and
food. No, if you mean actually while we're creating it or before we go out, I'm assuming you mean just before we start creating it. Yeah, the first thing, generally, the teams that I've been involved in, we go out, you spin the centre circle first, just so you can all stand in there, and you all stand around, we all hold hands, and just say an affirmation. It's basically, I mean, it depends what side of the fence you're on, but you can call it whatever you like, but it's kind of the best description would be similar to a prayer, but you're asking the universe, spirit, God, or oneness, or whatever you want to call it, to protect you and to help you create the circle, and have a good time whilst doing it, and also to put lots of good intent and love and light and all the good feelings into the circle. And also I always include a little thing to the farmers as well, that they actually like the circle and they get something good out of it as well. And then after that's done, then we begin the design. And at the end as well, we always have a very big group hug, and and just walk around, and as we're walking away from the circle, say goodbye. Okay. Because that's the time that it stops with us. Then we've made it. That's our experience. It's time for everybody else to have it.
Can I just say that always works for us as well?
It always works for us. Yes.
It always works. It's always had a positive experience. We've never had anything bad.
And those particular circles have always been well received, haven't they?
Yeah.
People actually feel that love, and it's amazing, really. I mean, let's look at it a different way here. If you start looking at higher levels of existence and stuff, surely we're all one consciousness. And if we're all one consciousness, so you can call it aliens or otherworldly spirits if you like, but ultimately it's us, because it's oneness. There isn't anything else except for one, So that means you are those aliens, and you are that spirit, and you are all of those things. And surely humans making crop circles is just an expression of the one making the circles for other people to read that.
Yeah, there's an interesting angle on that that goes back to 1993. Involves Mr. Glickman. Because there was an inquiry held about a crop formation in 1993, which was claimed to have been made by a schoolboy.
Right.
And the people who held the inquiry, what was it, Crop Circle Research Group, or whatever it was, they were quite split between believing what this young man had to say and disbelieving him.
Right.
But there was one man in particular who just wouldn't listen to the possibility that, or wouldn't accept any of the evidence. Right. And that was Michael Glickman.
Oh, now, who's that? We've never heard that name before.
If at that particular moment in time he hadn't put up such an argument against that formation being made by the young lad, I think the past, what we're talking, 18 years, would probably have played out completely differently, because it would have meant that overall the researchers that were genuinely, I mean real researchers at the time, not the sort of people that are just jumping on the bandwagon, but the genuine researchers would have accepted that people were making quite decent formations. I mean, it took a leap from the Doug and Dave side of things to a completely new set of human circle makers who were stretching the technology and the artistic skills down to other levels. If Michael Glickman, bless him, had not been so silly and had realised that this young man was telling the truth, perhaps we wouldn't have had all the formations, the beautiful formations that we've had since then. So even Michael Glickman,
I see what you're saying,
played a positive part.
Yeah,
in a strange sort of way.
It's like one of those sort of Doctor Who stories, where it could have gone down this timeline. Yeah. It could have gone down this timeline. It could have been all. Mr. Glickman could have realised it was people was doing it, and it was actually still a nice thing, But instead, Mr. Glickman went down this timeline where he said, "No, people are doing it, and people who say they do are bastards. Fuck them."
Yeah, I mean the other side of it is how many people have been conned, how many people have been hoaxed by that concept.
Yeah,
that it isn't human. How many people have been hurt?
I mean, a lot of people do get hurt by it, don't they? I mean, at the end of the day, because they think to themselves, well, I listened to these people and they told me something and then it wasn't right. Well, don't listen to people. That's the thing, is that, listen to yourself. So are you doing your own research? Are you doing your own research? And if you're involved in research, then what does that research mean? Yes, what are you actually trying to achieve? Well, so far, the sum total of the crop circles being weird out there in scientific terms is summed up by microwave damage, cellular changes in the crop apparently, and nodal bending. Well, the microwave damage has been dismissed as being the blackening of yeast that comes out of the split plant and the fluid that's released. The cellular changes are going to happen because you've got a load of crop that's standing up and receiving sunlight in one way. You turn it on its side and it's going to be receiving sunlight and water in a different way. There's your cellular changes for the crop circle in that respect. And then, what was the third one? I've really forgotten now. Tosser, ain't I? So try and make a pyramid argument and then only get the base. Yes, so there we are. Yeah, there's something out there somewhere. But what else have we got? Well, we've done cock and balls formation and pants. We've done we haven't done the farmer. You mentioned something about farmers being given credit in your orations. And yes, I've asked for nice things to happen to people. That's what I've asked for. But specifically, Lee has said he's asked for nice things to happen to farmers. I've asked for nice things to happen to people. But let's look down this nice things to happen to farmers. Okay then, nice things to happen to farmers, like the ones that went in the pub the other night, screaming and shouting that if people are boasting that they're making crop circles, they're going to cut them all out of their land. Like that sort of ex-farmer, they're going to cut them out. And screaming and shouting, yes, no. The people are just, boasting about it now, boasting about the fact they make crop circles, so they're going to cut them out. This particular farmer, no names mentioned, having previously believed crop circles were on their land specifically for them, that they had come down as a message for them, now believe that because people are boasting they make crop circles, that they'll cut them all out. So hang on, are there alien crop circles or are they not alien crop circles? Because if there are alien crop circles and you believed in them, now, out of spite, you're cutting out the alien crop circles. Is that what you're saying? Because of the humans? Cut the nose off to spite the face. Okay. Whatever. But, yes. Right. But yes, shouting loudly in the Bargain pub in front of many visitors, your intentions to cut them out because people are... and this TV channel was even mentioned... we're going to cut them out of the field because people are boasting about making crop circles. We're not boasting about making crop circles. The fact is, people make crop circles. You just couldn't get your head round it. It's not boasting. The fact is, people make crop circles. Once you actually realise people make crop circles, then you can actually speak to people about it. And when you speak to people about the fact that they make crop circles... they make crop circles. Boom, boom. Yes. Therefore, you don't need to get so upset about it. It's like you just need to realise these things in the first place, then not have to go there. So, okay. Anyway, right. We got any chat? I think you were probably fixated by me then, weren't you? Because I rant on, and yes. I forgot to mention as well that people might want to put their questions in capitals in the channel. It's a mode etiquette we use. If you want to sort of get your point out, say Matthew or Malcolm or Lee, and we will answer your question. There's been some really dark happenings this week in Crop Circle World. Crop Circle World has been... Crop Circle World has been beset by people trying to pretend to be other people, not to be people, and people reporting other people to certain authorities. And unfortunately, yes, this week we are made aware of the fact that somebody out there, cough, cough, indeed. Yes, cough, cough. Actually, yeah, let's get you on screen. Right, somebody out there, go on, cough, cough.
No.
Cough, cough, cough. Somebody, yeah,
I shall have my second sweetie.
Yes, that's right. Somebody out there has actually gone to the Civil Aviation Authority and reported pilots for flying illegal commercial microlight flights over the crop circles. They've reported them to the CAA, and the CAA have investigated this week. And, well, you're not supposed to do it, you see. You're not supposed to fly in a microlight if you're doing it for commercial gain. Well, I don't do it for commercial gain. I'm fucking doing it for commercial fucking losing, to be honest. You know, I lose money every time because it goes in fuel and it goes out of the aircraft. That's how I operate my microlight. But, yes, you're not supposed to take people up to take photos that are going to appear in books and magazines and things like that. It's not allowed because you have to have a commercial license, and commercial licenses aren't available for microlight pilots. So the only people who can fly commercially are commercial pilots who fly Cessnas, Group A aircraft, Group A helicopters, Cessnas, big aircraft, checked out by engineers that have certifications and, you know, are the proper real deal. The ones that you get on with a knowing sort of, you know, they're not going to crash because they've been done by, you know, Uncle Gumbo. Yes? Now, microlights live in a bit of a world where we can do our own work. Yes? Group A and commercial lives in a world where people have been trained, they've got qualifications, they are inspected, and they are set to standards. Yes? So that's why commercial flying is expensive, because people have had to actually put all the time and effort into doing it. Now, somebody out there flies commercially in a helicopter, regularly in a helicopter, to take photos of the crop circles. And strangely enough, this week, the microlight world has been hit with this CAA investigation into whether or not people are flying illegally. And I wonder who started that ball rolling. Wouldn't be Indrid Cold or Mothman, would it? Mothman, Indrid Cold, that sort of person that's kind of trying to... Would it? I don't... Would that happen? Yeah. Right, well, it isn't going to be me. It isn't going to be me, because I've already had this batted back at me. We know, Indrid Cold. Indrid Cold? Well, that was Agent S, wasn't it? It was Agent S. Agent S was Indrid Cold because Agent S was sitting here. Somehow, her arms were telepathically able to go into a different room and type on a keyboard and make things come up on the screen that she was then replying to. Yes, Indrid Cold, it was Agent S. Yes, right. Okay, Indrid Cold, Indrid Cold, his IP address came from Southampton, Fareham, which is quite near Gosport in Southampton. We do know some people down that way in Gosport, you know, sort of Fareham, Southampton way, who've used the names of Mothman and Indrid Cold. We do know these people and have used these names in the past. And it's very strange, the communications that have gone back and forth, which seem to be leaning people in a certain direction that we seem to be going in. Now, these people have denied point blank, it's not us. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Honestly, it's not us. Now, if they're telling the truth, and I'm not sure that they are, if they're telling the truth, then there is a massive conspiracy that's going on behind the scenes by somebody or someone to make it seem like it's a particular person who likes to fly helicopters and take photos of the crop circles. Now, because of legal reasons, I suppose we shouldn't make accusations that certain people are doing certain things, but I think we kind of know who we're talking about here. And when people actually make accusations that people are flying microlights for commercial gain and doing that sort of stuff, right? it really looks to me like somebody's just trying to get rid of the competition, just trying to get rid of the other pilots that might be out there flying, that want to sort of, you know, get on and do their thing, providing photos for the crop circle connector and stuff like that.
Are you saying they're all squabbling amongst themselves?
They're all squabbling and, you know, bitching and trying to stab and take each other out, you know. And, you know, it's like, yeah, there are some there who say, I can stand with my hand up and say I am flying legally and correctly. Yes, well, that's me. I fly legally and correctly, yeah. And I can go and photograph crop circles, you know, for myself. There are some people who go flying over crop circles in microlights that are not doing it legally. But, you know, it's a grey area. It's a grey area. But the CAA were called in because somebody had made a complaint. Who do you think would benefit from such a complaint if all these other pilots who were taking photos of the crop circles out disappeared? Who do you think would benefit? Who benefits? The people who are doing it legally. Who's the person who's doing it legally? I think we're seeing the whole thing is pointing back in one direction again. It's all pointing in one direction.
Didn't you say you was doing it legally, Matt?
I'm doing it legally. I'm doing it legally.
Are you benefiting?
Well, not bet.
No,
well, you're not supposed to profit from it in monetary terms. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, it's semantics, isn't it? Because I mean, I can take a photograph when I'm flying in my aircraft, and then later on, I can find out that there was something in that photograph that was really worth loads of money and sell that photograph. I mean, you know, it doesn't mean I'm going to lose my license,
Matthew,
does it?
Just for a record, do you produce a yearbook or a calendar or anything?
I don't produce yearbooks or calendars and make lots of money and have a company and registration and, you know, tax accounts and stuff like that. No, I don't fly helicopters. I fly a microlight, and I fly it for myself. And it's, you know, it's busting my balls actually to be able to keep the thing, but yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it? How this is all unfolding.
So
anyway,
that means,
Mr.
sorry,
Apol.
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Apol says, but you do it legally, and how do we know you don't benefit?
Sorry, say that again.
But you do it legally, and how do we know you don't benefit?
Well, of course I fucking benefit. I love it.
Well, there you go.
Just not
That's the benefit.
I haven't heard of his conference next week.
That's the benefit. That's the benefit. The benefit to me is that I'm doing it. Yes, and
you don't make money out of it. Though.
Yeah,
That's what you're
I mean, the point is, you're not supposed to do it for commercial gain. So if I was to take a friend up, like the lovely Debbie, I was going to say McGee then. I was going to say Debbie McGee. Lovely Debbie McGee. Right. Lovely Debbie McGee here. If I was to take the lovely Debbie McGee up into the magic aircraft, then I would probably charge them 50% of the fuel costs, which is what the legal requirement is. Yes, that keeps it legal. Yes, I'm fully then entitled to fly with the lovely Debbie McGee in my aircraft around the countryside, photographing whatever the fuck I like, yes, and doing whatever I wish with it, yes, as long as I don't then make profit from it. It wasn't a flight that was garnered in order to write a book. It was a pleasure flight for me and Debbie McGee, so we share the petrol. Yeah, we didn't go out to make that flight a crop circle flight that was going to make money because we're going to do a book. Yes, it's not that's not commercial. So you are allowed to do these things under that provision. So it hasn't actually worked. You know, this foiling plan that somebody has tried to hatch here, that is going to destroy the aerial activities. It won't work. It won't work. It doesn't work. The CAA have said that people can actually go up for flights for air experience and actually fly quite happily. Oops, sorry, hit the microphone. Fly quite happily in that capacity because they're wondering whether or not they might take this up in the future. So those air experience flights are allowed. And that's what people are flying on at the moment. That's the grey area. Air experience is a flight where you just happen to be wanting to go and fly. And they take photos at the same time. That's the grey area. It's not exactly commercial, but it ain't... Sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah, go on.
I've just got a question popped up here for Lee. And it's from Sonia. Do you have any issues with Steve and his photos of your crop circle, even if he makes money from it? No, that's a good question.
Yes, that's a good question. You
No,
would say that. You're married to him.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I've got a problem with him
Crap question.
taking photographs and making money from it at all, really. I think
Only kidding.
whatever makes people happy, it's all right for them to do that. You know, they make calendars and stuff like that. But my issue only lies with when those people then demonise the very people that makes them that money in a quite viciously.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you can make money from it and stuff like that. And hey, you got my blessing to do that. I've not got a problem with it at all, because, like I said, as soon as that sun comes up, that circle doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to the world to do what they want, and they get their enjoyment out of it. And if he takes photographs, that's fine. Just don't attack the very people that provide that income.
Yeah.
Didn't you say it was a symbiotic relationship?
It is.
We do need each other.
Symbiotic relationship, yes, and I fully understand that, because hey, where can people appreciate that art if it wasn't for the people that were flying over and taking those photographs?
I don't. And this is the thing, you see. I mean, Steve to Agent S apparently has been saying, I don't hate Matt, you know, and I don't hate Steve. I don't hate Steve. I'm just pointing out obviousnesses. You know, and this is the thing, people are misconstruing this as an attack. They're saying, you're attacking Steve. No, I'm pointing out obviousnesses, obvious facts, obvious things that are just taken in a general sense. It's like, you know, you're not supposed to fly in a microlight. You're not supposed to fly in a microlight to take photos of crop circles, but you can go up in a microlight to have an air experience flight to see if you want to take a microlight flying, which is what people do, and then they happen to take photographs of crop circles at the same time. You see, it's not. I'm not attacking. I'm not attacking these people. Yeah, but it's perceived that I am. It's a grey area. I'm just exposing what they're doing. You know, and the fact that they make money is self-evident. Of course they make money. They have to make money. They have to make a profit. They don't like the fact that we say they're making a profit because it sounds bad. But everybody who sells something with crop circles on this planet is making money, yes, out of a subject that is made by people. Don't demonize the artists. Thank you very much for saying that, Lee.
Right,
don't
demonize
the artists.
Let's just add into the end of that. If you stay anonymous, you can't expect royalties or gratuities, Lee.
They don't. They just don't want to be called wankers.
No.
Sorry to cut you off.
Don't want to be called liars.
What was that point you read out there? What did you say?
Just saying, if you stay anonymous, and how do you expect loyalties or
to
gratuities? But like Matt just said, we don't.
But we don't. That's the beauty of it, is the people who are making the crop circles want to give them away. It's a gift.
It's exactly that, yeah.
It's a gift.
The enjoyment that we get out of it, and it just might be really hard for people to comprehend, is...
Especially in this materialistic world.
Yeah, it's just the love of doing it. Why do people sit there and draw pictures and paint and write music and stuff? It's because it's in their blood. They just like doing it. If you're artistic and you've got, you've got a love of all things natural and amazing and, you know, mathematical even. If you've got all those things, then of course you're going to go out and express it.
There's all sorts of angles to this, isn't there? I mean, last year, one of the best and most prolific circle makers gave the village of Pewsey a really beautiful gift of a crop formation.
Which one? Are you...
there was a formation under Pewsey White Horse in August of last year.
Right.
But very, very few people know anything about it.
Right.
Because the farmer cut it out by midday.
Right.
You can see photographs of it in certain places, but it never got into Steve Alexander's yearbook, for instance, or any calendar, because it just didn't last long enough.
It was cut out too soon. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
By noon, I think. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And that was a gift. That was a beautiful gift of art from the circle makers to the village of Pewsey.
Right.
Can I also make a point as well that I think might be valid in that when you think it's the people that make money, right?
Yeah.
When it's the people that make the money that are the most most vicious out of the lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is what I found.
Anyway, I
Yeah,
was like, come on,
hello.
Matt, get the camera on me, for God's sake.
Oh, we're all going like, what?
Where
It's
are
like the
we?
camera's not on the right person.
I'll say it again.
Yeah. Say again.
Those people that have an income to defend and make money out of it, its money seems to make them quite protective over their income. You understand what I mean? So when the circle makers make them, they make them for love, and we're quite happy to to pass them on because our part's done. It's just part of the whole thing. But the people that make the money, it's the money that twists them a little bit, and it's like, no, I've still got to make an income out of it, so I've got to turn nasty. And there, a lot of people that do that will claim that they're all love and light and fluff, and they're not. What they actually see when they look at a circle maker is, fluff. When they look at a circle maker and they said that person is deceitful and lying, what they're actually doing is looking in a mirror and seeing a reflection of themselves and saying that person is a liar and a deceiver. And that's what it is. It's all mirrors, man. Ask Buddha. He knows.
Buddha.
Yeah,
And speaking of mirrors and special effects, I just realised that if I press this button, then I can go like this. I can spit on your head. Not really.
Matt, I was getting deep and talking about Buddha.
And then
And
I
you're
have to be
spitting on my
childish.
head.
I have to be childish, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Williams.
Ta-da. Sorry, I just love the buttons. They do things.
If it was
Wow,
just
wow, wow.
those people, that would be bad enough. But there's another group of people who are equally as vindictive, and they haven't got any financial interest whatsoever. And those are the people who have been convinced that there's something out there that isn't, that absolutely don't want their belief system challenged.
Oh, there's that as
And
well.
they can be really vicious.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's very sad.
Religious
And
And
that's a
this-
reflection again on
mentalists.
themselves, isn't it? And how unstable they are.
Absolutely.
Mentally.
And which is such a joy and revelation for me in the spring of 2009 when I actually found myself surrounded by human circle makers on my venue, that there were such nice people and there was none of that. There was none of that, oh, you don't want to talk to the... I mean, I don't think one circle maker has ever said to me, don't talk to that researcher. Don't mess with those people, they're no good. And yet, on the other side, it is
They
pathetic.
try to make you...
Oh,
yeah,
I've been
It's
threatened.
cult mentality,
Get
isn't
away
it?
from that lot, yeah.
Cult mentality. It's like
Yeah.
Scientologists. It's like,
Yeah.
you cannot speak to them, do not think their thoughts, and do not, it's control.
And
It's-
it's a mirror thing, isn't it?
It is
I
the mirror
mean,
thing.
we say to people like, go and chat to people if you think they've got a great answer for you. Go and chat to them. Brilliant. Go and have a look around, and that's great. But the crop circle world, they're fearful of this because it's obviously going to expose the bloody truth, isn't it?
And do you not also think
know?
as well that if people are more than willing, when the truth is presented to somebody and they will not have it, right?
Yeah.
When they stick their anchors and they say, there's no way that I'm accepting that truth. Do you not think that sort of mentality makes it really easy for the powers that be that really seek to control you, because they try to control you through putting you into an illusionary system, an illusionary world, a fantasy. It's stabbing things in my head every time I get prolific.
Oh, sorry, I was just playing. You're talking, and I'm going with it. You got me. This is the trouble, right? Okay. I got an admission here, right? He starts talking. I'm going with it. I'm going. He's going. And whilst he's going, I'll play with it. I'll do visual stuff, but I'm not listening to what he's saying. Oh, it's terrible. I'm not quite listening to what he's saying. I'm fleeting across it whilst I'm thinking of visual things to do. Sorry. This is CirclemakersTV. Welcome. So, right.
I was saying...
You were saying... right, carry on.
When people actively choose to live in the fantasy world, right, where they will not budge from their beliefs, then it just makes the people that really seek to control us, like the governments and the Illuminati, the New World Order, all of those people can control you so much easier because you are very susceptible to it. As soon as the truth comes your way, if you acknowledge that truth, then hey, you can see through the illusions. It's much better to live in the light than it is in the dark.
And be eaten by Skull Monster. Sorry. I just love the things this stuff can do. You can just do weird shit. Sorry. It is good though. People don't understand that circle makers aren't out to cause.
You're being told off here, Matt. Anyway,
I'm being told off.
Yeah, your guest is interesting, Matt. Pay
My
attention.
Yes, Matt, I'm interested.
My guest is interesting. Fucking pressing buttons is interesting as well. Why do you think people play bloody gambling machines? Bing, de-ling, 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 de-ling. I've got buttons here. You You should see what I can see. I've got bloody... I don't know what half of them do. That's like... press... Let's go through them. It's like do, 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 do. Do 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 do. I'm probably going to do something wrong, really, and then we do this one, which is that.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matthew Williams.
I'm pressing all the buttons, pressing all the fucking buttons, right? So you can see what all the buttons do, right? And you press this one, and then you get the Circle Maker artist talking about stuff. And then you get me talking about blah, 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 blah.
You got hair in that one.
And you got bloody...
So somebody's
and then you got him, and then this one has a chroma key, but it has a different background. Why is that? Why is that different to that? See?
So, crop circles.
What does it mean? What does
We've
it
got
mean?
Sonia here saying that Matt shows one side of Circle Makers, but not all Circle Makers think the same way. Do you know any that don't think like us, or?
Yeah, of course. You can't understand all the Circle Makers' motivations because you don't really fully know all the Circle Makers. So
I'm often accused, actually, of representing Circle Makers, and I don't. That I shouldn't. I'm not the voice of Circle Makers. I'm, fair enough. If people, don't like what I say, fair enough. I mean, I can't do more than I've done to give you information and stuff. But what I would say is, please look at the research materials we've put online. Please look at the diagrams. Please look at the Circle Makers doing the artistic works with the compasses and the set squares. Please look at these things and say, possibility. Anyway, we're going off on one then. But, right.
No, I don't believe it.
You don't believe it.
It's
not true. Yes. So, right, we're going back to William Gazecki has been attacking us recently. William Gazecki, he's got a website and he's still promoting to this very day, because this was printed out earlier on. William Gazecki says there are never mistakes. There are never half-finished designs found. No one is ever caught in the act. Yeah, that is bollocks. Come on, there are never half-finished circles. Never half-finished designs. No one is ever caught in the act. That's on his website. That's on his fucking website. Website, Mr. Gazecki.
We've been caught in the act before.
Have we?
Yeah.
What, in the
That
back?
guy that was in
I've been caught in the
in the back of the van. No, I won't say which circle for, again, obvious reasons.
Cameras.
When we pulled up into the lay-by to go into the field, and there was a car already sat in there with a guy with his headphones on to watch us go in the field.
An intergalactic
Range Rover.
Yeah.
It wasn't human Circle Makers, it was Men in Black in an intergalactic
Range Rover.
Yeah. I shit you not.
Yes.
This is what level we're talking about.
This is people, picture like fucking retards that's sitting on the edge of a field, or somebody maybe a very nice person, but maybe taking a lot of drugs or skunk or something. They're smoking something, and they're like, they see a car pull up and they get all paranoid, and then they see some people get out and move into the field, and then they're seeing flickers in their visions, and their heart's racing, and they're going, what are they doing? What are they doing? Am I in the middle of it? Am I going to get abducted? I'm going to get abducted in a minute. I'm going to get abducted. I'm going to get abducted. I'm going to get abducted. And your adrenal gland starts growing. Your adrenal gland starts going, and you're like abducted. And then the LSD kicks in, and the fucking cow shit fumes, even from that silage pit, because I mean it's not exactly a very sanitary area, but yes, the silage pit. You're sitting in the silage pit, and some people turn up and make a crop circle in front of you, and you can't even fucking realise there's fucking people. Sorry.
Anyway.
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Williams.
Debbie,
Right, sorry.
was it Sonia that asked about CircleMakers with a different opinion?
Yes,
Right.
it was Sonia.
Yes.
Can I quickly? I try to get hold of something to quote another CircleMaker.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is exactly word for word. I'm pushing for a future where the art. Wiggin, the engine's gone out. I'm pushing for a future where the art is respected, regardless of origin, and without the need for conflict, where gurus are comfortable talking about both sides of all this.
Well
Yes.
said.
And that's
Well said,
another,
that man.
yeah.
That's where it's got to go.
That's
Yeah.
It
it.
has to go that way. This is why it's a very interesting year, because attitudes on both sides of the camp, let's be honest with you, are getting very agitated, shall we say.
Yeah.
On circle makers and researchers and people like that.
The final sentence of that, which was on another page, is where people think for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When people think for themselves.
Well, people think for themselves.
I'm just kind of getting bombarded here at the moment by
Is it-
someone
is it a
called
new
Poo
pro-
Pants.
Can I buy that in Tesco's? People think for themselves. Is it a product? Can I buy it? People think for themselves. I've heard about it. People think for themselves. I want to buy this product. People think for themselves. I've heard it's very good. I've been told to come here and buy it.
Spit it
People
out
think
then.
for themselves. Can I have one?
I'm just saying we're getting bombarded by someone called Poo Pants saying that, can we see a video of you guys doing a complicated circle? Because until then, it's all
Poo pants.
shit.
Poo pants. Are you upset? Poo pants.
Let's talk all you want.
Are
Where's
you-
the video?
Where's
Showing
the
the Mill Hill. Milk
exactly? I love these. Da, 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 da. Hats off to you,
Hats
sir. Hats off to you, sir. Yes, you're my number 1 billionth
He's
person.
saying no, he's not upset. He just wants to see.
Goodness gracious! I have a
No, I can
channel.
unders- I
I
can
have a
understand
channel. I have a channel which is dedicated towards circle making. We take people out. We've videoed it. We've done it at night. We've done it under extreme conditions. You know, it's like, please view the channel, then tell me I'm a prick. Yes, okay. So yeah, it's. I'm going to bring it up for you now because it is a wonderful thing when you give people knowledge, right? But here we are, www.circlemakers.org. You've got this far. You've got to CircleMakers TV. You're watching us, yeah. You're watching CircleMakers.
Matt, to be honest,
Yeah.
I'm listening to you and watching me.
They're asking, who's Malcolm texting?
Okay. So, you know, ask a policeman. I don't know. Bloody hell.
Oh, God, indeed, lamp.
Indeed.
Well, why doesn't Poo Pants come to the area, hang about, wait until he discovers Circle Makers for himself, and then get invited out on one and go do it for himself?
Yes.
That's what kind of happens.
That's what
It does
happens.
happen.
That
If you,
happened
if you
to
come
me,
to the area and you basically hang around, you're going to meet people.
Yeah.
And
if you're open
if
to
you're
it and they get on with
you're
you
not,
and they like you, they'll take you out.
the thing is, emotions for people are a funny thing. Yeah, they're a funny thing, and we get accused of being nasty, but we're not. I find it quite funny that people can't take the fact that this is going on. Yes, it's actually quite funny that people cannot take the fact that people can go out at night and see and make a crop circle. That's quite funny. I laugh at that. I think that's funny. That doesn't mean I'm laughing at the people that are actually viewing. Yeah, it's a funny thing.
Sonia's asking here, are you going to read that statement out yet?
What statement?
The one that you were...
Oh,
That we were just about
Sorry
half an
for
hour
cackling.
ago.
right, okay. The statement was... I was waiting for him to he was finishing his statement.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I kind of forgot myself. Right, okay. This is something that was posted on the internet by an unknown source. So, should we trust it? But let's see what he has to say. Let's see what this person has to say. Fringe subjects inevitably attract extreme characters. Crop circles are no exception. Each summer, gigantic works of art are sculpted into the crop fields of England, usually formed by under the veil of darkness. Usually formed under the veil of darkness, they become the visible. Oh God, I'm gonna do one on this. Anyway,
Do you want me to read it?
Okay, you read it. I'm
How
drunk.
long is it?
I'm drunk. I can't drink. I can't focus my eyes down onto the paper properly.
Right.
There you go. You're gonna get a professional reader now.
I'm not a professional reader, but I'll have a go.
You friggin' well are tonight, matey boy.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
I shall begin. Fringe subjects inevitably attract extreme characters. Crop circles are no exception. Each summer, gigantic works of art are sculpted into the crop fields of England. Usually formed under the veil of darkness, they become visible as the morning dawn breaks. Exhibiting mathematical precision, they demonstrate principles of geometry, numerology, portray symbols and other mystical concepts long forgotten in modern design. Visitors travel from around the world to experience the magic of this art. Experience the magic of this art form within an ancient landscape, and to contemplate the. What's that? Can I just start that bit again, because that was atrocious?
Yes, we'll edit this out, and it's not
Visitors
live.
travel from around the world to experience the magic of this art form within an ancient landscape, and to contemplate the.
He can't do it either. It's bollocks, isn't it? It's hard being a bloody presenter, isn't it? It's bloody hard. Right, okay, right. We got a contender. We got a contender.
Yeah, here we go again.
Malcolm is going to show us all up now because he's.
And to contemplate the philosophical meaning of these temporary temples, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Steve didn't come into it. Let's start
Thank
again.
you, Malcolm.
In general, human artists allow observers to interpret the art as they wish. This way, the art expands in many directions, like a film with no obvious ending. We should not underestimate human potential. These artists create the elaborate patterns in order to amaze, inspire, or empower others. I must emphasize that these creations are more than just flattened crop. This is happening at this junction in time for a reason even the human makers may be unaware of. Given the power of this secretive art form, it's no surprise that croppies seeking answers would turn to divinity over the prosaic, and it's equally unsurprising that a cottage industry would arise to cater for such desires. Those who record or promote the subject deserve to derive an income, as long as the circle's origins are left open to people's individual interpretation. Problems arise when people profiteer by selling the subject on its mystery value to the unsuspecting public. I would call that hoaxing, wouldn't you? When these people either know the humans are making the circles or they've refused to investigate this aspect beforehand. The relationship between circle makers and the believers who research the subject is symbiotic. One relies on the other. This relationship now appears to be under tension as the makers who tirelessly give their art away year on year, only to be continually chastised by believers, begin to challenge the system they inadvertently helped create. For some makers to now publicly speak out appears at odds with what they originally intended. But due to a turn of events which has led to more and more information regarding the circle's actual origins being made public, it has now become a case of using the situation to facilitate a shift in future consensus thinking. Fundamentalist commentators have for many years used their authoritative position to suffocate the subject with their own idealistic beliefs, whilst dismissing more rational possibilities, be it through fear of losing faith or followers. These pontificating voices of discernment appear unable or unwilling to appreciate the reality of the human hand behind the crop circle creation. Nearly finished.
Okay.
For any kind of order or peace to stand a chance of prevailing, a degree of stability or compromise. I'll tell you what, why don't you all read this on Inquiring Minds?
Fucking hell!
So
You could make a good point there.
Forgot. There's about another
Tell
10
them
minutes
about
on there.
tell them about your website then. Right, okay. Tell them about your website, inquiringminds.com.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the money, mate.
You're in it for the fucking sex, I think.
And the sex.
Yeah. Which is later provided. No, sorry. What? Press the wrong button. No, sorry. What am I saying?
Matt printed this off the website.
I printed everything off websites. I've got no show. I just print things off websites and read them out. That's all I do. So we are CirclemakersTV. And if you wish to chat to us and ask a question of our guests, put it in capital letters in the chat room. And if you wish to make crop circles, make sure you seek the permission of the farmer, or make sure that you have some sort of higher power authority leaning you up against the idea of doing it anyway. Yes, CirclemakersTV. We have got something from Mr. Poo Pants.
Mr. Poo Pants says, more like circle wankers. Oh, that's nice.
There we go, yes.
He's been very nice tonight.
Oh, we're back into the chat room wonderment, yes. Yes.
He's still saying that.
Yeah, we are a Circle Making TV channel, but we also have a toilet. Yes.
He's
So anyway,
not digging it.
William Gazecki has been... God... I've brought this stuff up. Let's bring his picture up on the screen. If you can select his picture. And William Gazecki has been talking about... William Gazecki has been talking about crop circles for many years with authority, and he has no experience with circle makers out in the fields. He has been selling videos all across the United States called Crop Circles, A Quest for Truth, funded by Suzanne Taylor. Yes, he's been selling these videos, and he never came out to make a circle with the circle maker. He never did that thing. For fuck's sake. William, you need this. You need to understand something, sir. That you have absolutely no clue what is going on. Sorry? You've got a what? Time. The time. Oh yes, it's coming up to 11 o'clock. I'm being told I'm an arsehole and have no points of view left to protest, I'm afraid.
So the fact that we're liars, apparently.
Apparently we're liars.
You guys wrongfully take credit for these.
We take credit for things we don't do. Hang on, let's bring the chat channel up then so you can see it. Look, we are... What is it? How do you know the temporary temples has gained my IP?
It's Poo Pants.
Poo Pants. So what do you think about that statement? What do you think about that statement?
Where's it gone? It's disappeared now.
Oh.
It's gone up there.
What are the questions of the guests? These guests in this studio tonight have experienced people making crop circles. They are circle makers or have witnessed circle making happening. And for other people to say that this is the acts of aliens, I think is complete crap. So people like William Gazecki, who have never even gone out and made a frigging crop circle, there are never any mistakes. There are never any half-finished found. No one is ever caught in the act. Gazecki, I thought you did an investigation into Waco, didn't you? Do you have any intelligence at all? Please rethink your position, sir. So, okay. Enough about Mr. Gazecki then. What else we got? We got Mystic Merlin. Maybe another show. I'll do that on YouTube because it's probably going to be more funny as a wind-up rant on YouTube, I think. What else have we got? Mr. Gazecki's on screen. New Agent S has come through.
Finally.
This is cutting edge. This is like 24. You know the television show 24, where it's like actual things happen, and people move. Cameras.
For the love of God, what do you think about that statement?
What do I?
Has been asking you about 100 times on there.
What am I? What am I? I'm not
The
seeing
statement
it.
that you tried to read out.
What am I saying?
The
What?
statement of...
He's made 2 comments on that statement on the website.
there you go.
I've made
So
comments
Sonia can
on
read it there.
it.
And she can make a comment herself.
You all know where inquiringminds.com is.
No, .cc.
.cc. Inquiringminds.cc. Inquiring Minds. Okay. So you go to Inquiring Minds. Yes. And then you will have the answers. You heard it here first. Oh. So, right. Are we all drunk? Are we all drunk? No. Okay. What else was there? Michael Glickman's cancelled his tours this year. Michael Glickman's cancelled his tours. He's cancelled them because there's not enough people going on them. So he's cancelled them. Didn't get any takers at £1,600. Well, you shouldn't start fucking calling yourself a professor when you're not fucking one and telling people bullshit. And yes, see, people have a thing called Google these days, Michael, and I think your name is starting to appear in a thing called Google, and maybe it's not working out for you so much. Maybe this is what's happening with Steve. He's just getting so where's my money going to come from? Maybe my money money situations is getting so tight. He's having to report all these bloody. Oh God, I've said it now, haven't I? Damn, I said his name. Damn. Oh well. Look, I'm being. There he is. Yep. He's always there. He's always there in the background, Mr. Glickman. Right, it's 11 o'clock. We have done another 3-hour show. It's getting silly. It's getting silly. What have you got to say, Malcolm? Are these crop circles bloody maybe aliens or humans?
The majority of crop circles that people take an interest in.
Ooh, see?
That's controversial.
That's controversial. Go on then.
I thought I'm supposed to say things that are controversial.
Yes. No, we're not. This is not controversial TV. This is Circlemakers TV. Yes, go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happened to controversial TV?
No, it's still going apparently. Yeah.
I didn't deflect that one. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you wish to say
I
circles
just wish that the art form could be appreciated for what it is. Without all this bickering.
Without all the chit chat and crap. Yeah. But
unfortunately, there's some pretty nasty people out there that seem to want to spoil it all.
Yes. There's a lot of animosity in the subject at the moment because circle makers do not like being referred to as demons and stuff like that. Yes. It must stop. And people must understand that circle makers are just normal people who want people to have a nice experience in some art. Yes, okay, yes, nasty farmers fucking, don't like us, want to cut it out. But at the end of the day, if we can work something out, it's better than not, isn't it? So
I think it's a shame, really, that an ideal situation couldn't be created. I mean, it was mentioned last summer by an American tourist who was aware of all this sort of stuff going on last year. She said, well, why don't you all just stop making crop circles? Why don't you just not make any crop circles?
Why did you just not?
And if this had actually happened this year, and there had been absolutely zero human crop circles, then the rest of us could have seen just what was left.
Yes.
But I don't know how you...
Well, the beginning of the season, I think we've adequately demonstrated, was the whatever's left and wake-ups from people not having had practice for a while and getting woken up and some drunken experiences. But there's but we've had what's left. wasn't very good at the beginning, was it? It's starting to sort of get there a little bit now, but I think some people are coming out of retirement to help, aren't they?
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Would it be fair? Okay, I will say, would it be fair to say that Circlemakers TV did actually predict this? We predicted that it was going to be a slow year. It was going to be a slow year, and that the good quality circles are not going to be around until the end. Yeah.
That would be fair to say.
It would be fair to say we did predict this, and unless we've got a contact with the aliens, then I don't know what. So, if there are some people out there, Dan Scott amongst them, who say that I do not speak for Circlemakers, well, if I don't speak for Circlemakers, tell me what you want. Come on Skype, come in and do the show. You know, you can't say that I don't speak for Circlemakers, yeah, if you don't actually speak to me, and I'm not hearing you. Yes. So if you want to come on the show, come on and tell us what your opinion is. Yes, I mean, I'm quite happy to have you on. Dan Scott and Steve Alexander and Michael Glickman, whoever, you know, come on and tell us what you think. So, and on that note, I think it's probably, what? Bedtime. You should, hang on, I thought you said it was 11 o'clock. It's half an hour to go. I thought you showed me a thing saying like 11 o'clock.
I just showed you my thing. I didn't say it was 11 o'clock.
God, that's a weird thing. He was holding his phone in front of me, and I was sure I could kind of see, because my eyes are a bit screwy at the moment because I'm a bit drunk. But could you tell that he put his phone in front of me, and it's like 11 o'clock.
I did wonder when you said
We got half.
Someone else put it up here actually.
Oh. Right, it's only 10:30. Right then, okay. What are we going to do then?
I think I might ban this poo pants actually, because he's being a bit nasty now.
Poo pants is being nasty, and we're going to have to ban them because they're upsetting people.
Freedom of speech, innit?
It's freedom of speech, but it's boring.
But it also comes up on the video, you see, and the poo pants has realised this, and probably wants to see their stuff coming up on the video stuff. Well, what do you think is going to happen at the end of the year then? What's going to be the finality for this year then? Have you got any predictions of what's going to happen? I think it's going to be one or two big season finales, obviously.
Say again over. What's the question, Matt? Sorry.
What's going to happen? What do you see happening in the year? You can go and sit on the thing with Malk if you want. You got your radio mic on anyway. Why isn't your radio mic working?
You took it off.
Oh, well, that's why it's not working then. You took it off.
I'm on the other microphone.
Right.
What can I see happening this year?
Yes.
I don't know, to be honest with you. That's the honest answer. Here I am.
Right.
It really depends how the conferences work out, doesn't it? I mean, whatever else, there's a real shortage of decent formations.
They're starting to come. It's like, you know, the seed was very good this year, really. I mean, to come from nothing up to the standard that people are at, I think the seed has shown that there is great potential there. But there's great potential, but there's been a lot of muck.
There's been a lot of dreadful mistakes.
Yes.
Unfinished formations.
You know, out of cow shit does sometimes come a daisy. That's what I'm going to say.
That's deep, man. Deep.
That is very deep, isn't it? Yeah. God. Sorry, just retrieve my pencil.
Ask the listeners.
The listeners.
Ask them what their take is on. Are they believing what we say, or
do
they think we're lies as well?
Yeah, nobody's actually tried to Skype in, have they?
I'll just get them to text it.
No, nobody's tried to Skype in. Oh well. It's a bit of a drunken debauched night tonight. I've reached my limit now, so I'm just going to say, right, okay, you have to ask us questions now in the channel You ask us questions, we will answer them. Okay? This is going to be direct. Ask a question, we answer. How's about that?
Can't be fairer than that, can it?
Can't be fairer than that. Huh? Favourite cheeses. What's your favourite cheese, Malcolm?
All of them.
We've had this before.
I like a mini Baby Bell.
Baby Bell.
Because it's round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina Doggos. Yeah, I think we've drifted way off subject, man. I've got to be honest with you.
Baby Bell. Yeah, but no, somebody's cheese tastes might mean something to somebody. You never know. Some witch or something, you know, like she wants to know what sort of like flavour of cheese you like.
Sonia has a question. She's saying, why should people not make money from crop circles?
Well, they can,
I've been listening.
They just don't want to.
We're quite happy for people to make money from crop circles, but just don't call the circle makers wankers, and
I think
don't
she's saying,
lie.
why don't the crop circle makers make money?
Oh, why don't they make money? Because they'd have to do illegal work. You know, you can't make illegal work legal.
Yeah, that's a good question. There,
you know, you can't go onto somebody's land at your own. You know,
that actually is a very good question, Sonia. And my reason for saying that is that we're getting to a point where, to avoid all the conflict, perhaps formations need to be commissioned, and that people who are prepared to put the money up to pay farmers for their land to be used for the purpose of demonstrating the art, or even beyond that. I was in the Vale this afternoon, and I saw a leaflet on a chap's desk at riding stables, and the riding stables were advertising. They had a leaflet advertising riding through crop circle country from their riding stables. So you could make a financial situation viable out of that by providing crop circles
interesting views
of the riding stable.
Interesting views to go through.
Yeah, I mean, how positive has that farmer been?
Yeah,
because it is a farm.
Yeah, why not?
Within the Vale, you know, that's quite a positive attitude towards the formations, is it not? So it just needs the motivation from somebody to organise some means of funding the formations being made.
Sonia's asking, why do circle makers want to be known?
They don't.
I think we've just basically entered a dialogue with this TV channel, because people say it's not humans. So therefore, the people that do it, warts and all, happen to be the people who do it. We're not glamorous. We're not sort of movie stars.
She then goes to say, is it all about ego then?
We're just trying to tell people why we do it and what it's done for.
Absolutely not about egos.
The fact that you want to be known, is it about ego?
Well, everybody has an ego, right? But would you say that it's not nice to look at your art on a large scale? On a large scale, being from a hillside, look at that crop circle that you've created and feel some boost from it. Is that not allowable? Am I not allowed to feel happy? Ego? Wow, I did that. That's cool. Am I not allowed to feel that? I'm not allowed to. Ego. So when they write the books about it, don't they feel good that they've actually written a very good book? Yes. You're not allowed to that ego as well, then, is it? It's part of human nature.
Keith the Trucker wants to know whether or not you check out the fields before you go in them, as in spraying. Do you check that it's been sprayed or not?
Sonia says, I want to hear Agent L.
Hello.
There you go. She likes you.
Lee, do you check for spraying before entering? No, but I'm very aware that they do spray.
Yes.
And it's bad for you because you can get asthma
Yeah.
and all sorts of... somebody said... Sorry, I just read that somebody put, Lee always sprays before entering. Yep, it's a way of marking my territory. Can't help it. Strictly male thing.
Yeah. I've just got this vision now of... I've just got the most bizarre vision of... No.
Go up to the questions again, sorry.
Oh, I've got it here. It's something like... do you check for spraying before entering
Do I
the
check
field?
for spraying? No, I don't check for spraying. But I know that the sprays are bad and they have affected my lungs in the past. So, yeah, it's not healthy.
I come out of crop circles and I've had black eyes because of such bad allergic reactions. You know, they're not friendly on me, certainly, and that's why I took a back seat. So yeah, I'm very aware of the fact that the pollen and the chemicals that are used are actually quite nasty. And you know, if you're going to do it, you have to sort of like do it, go home, shower, and then, you know, dose up with antihistamines. That's me. You know, because of the problems that the things cause.
Sorry, Sonia says you don't do it for ego, and I doubt you really care who knows what circle you do.
So why are you on here?
That's why I'm on here. I don't do it for ego.
To enlighten people.
Well, yeah, it's to enlighten people. Not only that, though. I didn't say it wasn't for ego. I said ego is a perfectly human condition. And, yeah, I've got an ego. And then if you can look at yourself in the mirror and just say, I haven't got an ego of any way, shape or form, then you're a very advanced being. Because everybody I know has got some sort of ego.
It's just such a throwaway thing. It's like, you have an ego. And it's like, and everybody...
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I do. I take pride in my work. When I do things, I want them to be right. I don't want to you know, like somebody to say to me that, you know, they're fucking unhappy with something that I've done. You know, it's like, that's what I do. You know, it's
Sonia, I've got an answer for you as well as to why I'm here, and it's simply to defend the truth. Years ago, I was lied to by people who had an ulterior motive, and I found out their lies for what they were. And I don't think it's healthy that people should be that people should be allowed to carry on deceiving people, hoaxing people, because that's what is being done right now as we're here. That is what's happening, and in a sense, you can look at the crop circle situation, and you can see the same thing happening throughout our society. Our entire society has been duped, and when Matt asked me to come on the programme tonight, I really didn't want to come on the programme. I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't like seeing myself on the screen. I absolutely detest it. I certainly didn't come here for an ego boost. I came here to defend the truth, honestly.
yes.
Sonia, hang on.
And
Okay, hang on. Sonia says, okay,
Malcolm
thanks, guys.
Malcolm hasn't been rolling in his seat, sort of going, "Ooh, I love myself. I'm just such a fucking circle making conspiracy man. I know the truth. You know, I'm just the bitch." He's not like that, is he? He's actually been quite, you know, he's been quite sincere, and you know, I think that comes across. I totally understand where Malcolm is coming from with this. You know, it's his journey, and he's trying to involve you in it. It may not be for some the entertaining ride of a roller coaster that we all wish, but you know, then, you know, what do we I don't know. I'm drunk. Fuck, you know. Questions? What are they saying? Right. Well spoken, that man. Spot on crap dolly. Spot on crop dolly. Sorry. Spot on.
There you go. Darth Netbook.
I'm
I think Malcolm
things.
has been a very good guest, and I would like to thank him for his time.
I would
Thank
as
you,
well.
my friend.
I would indeed. Spot on crop dolly. I misread that as spit on crop dolly, and then I said silly things. Sorry, so I should stop. Malcolm has been a good guest, and I would like to thank him, Keith, and conference continues. Okay, so we've not got any questions, right? Okay, basically, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to shut the show down because we're just running out of fucking steam here, and we're all bloody drunk. and next week,
Matt's drunk.
No,
For the record,
Malcolm is actually the most sober person in the room, and do you know why? Because I said you must be. And do you know what I've done tonight to torture him? This is an admission, right? I'm a sadistic. I'm a bit sadistic. I'm a bit sadistic. I've been drinking in front of him the whole night long. And
for the record, Debbie doesn't drink either.
Yeah, right. There you go. So now I'm incapacitated, and Malcolm is actually the sort of the best man in the house. He could drive us home. So thanks very much for tuning into Circlemakers TV. I hope you've learned something tonight, that the circles are magical. Well, I don't know, we seem like a very merry bunch of piss artists, but yes, hopefully you will tune in next week, and we shall give you some strange information, and God knows. Yeah, Sonia saying goodbye to somebody.
She didn't say goodbye to Lee, though.
She didn't say goodbye to Lee.
Thanks all, and thanks Agent SML.
But she didn't say goodbye to Lee. Lee's offended.
I am.
Lee's offended that you didn't say goodbye. So I'll say goodbye for you and press some button that is near here. Thank you very much for tuning into Circlemakers TV, and we shall see you next week.